Let's bang. Locked, cocked, ready to rock. How you doing out there, folks? How you doing? How you doing? Going to try to do this bit here where we're going to get the round timer. I may not be able to get the round timer up because I had some computer issues. Hi, everyone. My name is Luke Thomas. This is my UFC 306, let's see, live stream, all that fun stuff. Hey, to all the fuckheads who told me this card was not going to be fun to watch, you could eat my shit. You were all completely wrong. The video I put up this past week saying, like, you're all wrong about UFC 306, the Sphere Show, was one of the most downvoted videos I've ever posted on this channel. Well, who has the last laugh now, motherfuckers? This show has been nothing short of incredible. The fights have delivered, by the way, but more to the point, the actual atmosphere is, well, I won't say exactly as I predicted because I didn't know how actually it was going to go, but I knew there was a high potential, certainly, for it to be good. I'd say really vindicated. So fuck all y'all who said I was wrong about that. You can send all of your emails, Eating Crow, to lukethomasnews@gmail.com. But for the rest of you who aren't dickheads about it, thumbs up on this. Thanks for being here. The co-main event for UFC 306 is about to start. The card has dragged on a little long, some pacing issues. But let me see if I can get this thing going. Oops, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see if I can get this setting working. Let me see here. Yes. Yes, I can. All right, great. So now I can get the round timer going. This should be fun. Okay. Yeah, boy, I have enjoyed this show. Again, not just because the show is great, because I was like, right. It's hard to appreciate how unique and different the Sphere is unless you're actually there. I probably would have much more skepticism had I never been to the Sphere before. But I had, and I knew it was good. And tried to tell some of you fucks, but you wouldn't listen. So here we are. But all right, let's put that past us for just a moment. We'll come back to that a little bit later. Right now, it's time to watch the co-main event. Valentina Shevchenko, for the third time, is going to try and take the crown. Well, I should say for the second time to try and take the crown back from Alexa Grasso. Third time that they fight. She is now in the octagon. I will say, of all the chapters that they've shown thus far, the Ofrenda Dia de los Muertos one was like by far my fucking favorite for many reasons. Like, and they had the cempasúchil, like, what do they call them in English? Marigolds, the flowers that they had everywhere. But more to the point, when they went to that town square and they started, it was daytime, and by the time the fight was over, it was nighttime, which was sick. I mean, just so many little awesome details that they threw into this kind of thing. But the drone footage is awesome as well. This show is absolutely incredible. UFC is hitting a monster home run with this one. Got to give them credit where credit is due, for sure. But all right, now we're waiting for the champ, Alexa Grasso. It has been a tough night for the Mexicans. It has been a tough night. So you had Ronaldo Rodriguez. He won, but that was a little iffy against Ode Osborne. And then Diego Lopes won, who's a Brazilian living in Mexico. But he got the job done. 4 of the other Mexicans have lost. Here comes Grasso now. By the way, reminder to all you good folks out there, all live programming right here brought to you by Toiletries. You can use the code LT15 for 15% off if you're so inclined. And yeah, do that. You can get yourself some great beard scrubber. Don't use your fingers. You got a bunch of nasty shit in your fingernails. Don't do that. Use this. Exfoliate. You can have, oops, I got all kinds of my medication up here. That's hilarious. I'll put those down there. Yeah, they put me on a million different medications for this goddamn cellulitis, but I will tell you that it has finally, I've turned a corner finally. But Toiletries right there. How about that? Get that beard wash, boys and girls. Hold on. Let's get that right there. Let's see if we can you focus? Autofocus? There we go. Let's try it one more time. There it is. The autofocus is a little bit wishy-washy, but you get the idea. Toiletries. All live programming on this channel brought to you by them. I'll turn this part off. But yeah, so what we're going to do is, as one reminder, we're going to watch the co-main together. We're going to watch the main together. There'll be like a 30-second, not even, intermission, and then we're going to hit the post-fight show hard. So once the fights are over, don't go anywhere. The post-fight show will kick off soon thereafter, okay? All right. Curious to know which one is y'all's favorite of the chapters of the story. For sure, it's the Dia de los Muertos for me. That's like they nailed that one. Also, I have to say, I thought they were, I mean, I don't really know the difference. I still don't know the difference that much between Mayan and Aztec architecture. Obviously, the Mayans predate the Aztecs, but I couldn't really tell you architecturally what makes them distinct. But it turns out it was an Aztec ruins that I think the opening main card fought outside of. That shit bang. That was incredible too. This whole show has been ridiculous. And by the way, how about all the ring card girls having a different kind of like get up or costume to match the theme of the chapter every single time? Also amazing. And the fights have been great. Diego Lopes getting the signature win. We'll talk more about this in the post-fight show. Diego Lopes getting a signature win, if I do say so myself. Let me set this up to make sure y'all can see this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. The challenger is in the cage. The champion is in the cage. We are moments away from our main card starting here at the Sphere. By the way, putting that tail of the tape on the back wall is so sick. So sick. All right, 31 versus 36. They're both 5'5". Half an inch reach advantage for the challenger in Shevchenko. Make sure I can. Here we go. All right. Buffer making his introductions. Thoughts on this one? So the big change from the first to the second fight was you saw the spinning attacks of Shevchenko largely go away, and she went to a little bit more of a wrestle-heavy approach. She was clearly the more physically, like she's much stronger of the two. Through two fights that has been established, and she did have a wrestling advantage. Can she lean back on that? Can she add a few wrinkles to that? Some ground and pound, more submission threats, something to kind of really accrue value there in those particular positions if she can hold them. So conversely, what can Grasso do to challenge some of those positions, or even getting to them to begin with? Really is another part. She's an active guard player, but that's a really hard way to win fights, right? Anthony Pettis was in his prime was a really good guard player, but he would hurt you first. Guys would go for the takedown, and then he'd submit him. That's actually how he beat Benson Henderson the second time, right? Rocked him with a body shot. It was a kick to the midsection. Benson was like, no moss on that shit. Goes for the takedown, and he gets armbarred, right? So you can win from your back, but it has to be kind of married in these other sequences. If you ever watch any jiu-jitsu tournaments, just count the number of times you watch at the black belt level somebody win from the guard. Like full guard is what I mean. Like an arm, for example, arm bar from the guard. How often do you see that at the black belt level? Almost never. It happens, just not very often. All right. Odds on this one. They've got Grasso. Our friends at DraftKings have Grasso as a minus 140 favorite. Not sure how I feel. I don't know. I guess I slightly lean Grasso, but I don't really know. Took Tuki to Cirque du Soleil today. That was great. Second time I've seen them. All right, here we go. Okay, Mark Smith is your referee. Man, look at that background, dude. UFC fucking hit a grand slam with this show. All right, here we go. Look at this ring card girl. Incredible. Here we go. Okay, and we're off. Round one. Shevchenko obviously is going to be much more stationary, probing with outside leg kicks. Here comes the blitzing already from Grasso. 3 fighters have been dropped blitzing tonight. Ortega got dropped. Let's see. Rodriguez got dropped. Ooh. Left hand over the top from Shevchenko scores. And I think, was it Zellhuber got dropped as well? I have to go back and look. But, yeah. Probing from Grasso. Shevchenko, as you might imagine, counterfighting, just waiting. Oh, a right hand scores in combination. Left hand to the body, right hand upstairs for the ex-champion. Man, in MMA, nobody rolls out. They don't punch and roll. Trading jabs. Grasso's putting pressure on her. Man, these flurries from Shevchenko. And she goes for the double and gets it right away. And that's even with Grasso scoring the underhook. That's even with Grasso meeting her with the underhook. She still got overpowered. All right, so here's Grasso working off her back from full guard. The wrestling was right there. You had to know that was going to be a part of it. You had to know. You had to know. So far, Grasso just kind of holding the arm like this, like kind of just pinching it a little bit on top of herself. Now she's reaching inside over the top for the back of her own leg to kind of control for the posture of Shevchenko, keep her down. This is what I mean. Can Shevchenko take this position and then do something with it? Can she pass? Can she score damage? If you stay chest to chest like she is right now, it's just hard to get the kind of posture you need to really score substantive damage. You can see now Grasso underneath butterfly hooks and then 1 foot on the left hip, using this to harass the balance and base. There's the triangle. She hasn't got it locked up, but she's got something with it. And then you can see Shevchenko's leaning back. She's going to go for an armbar. You got to be careful leaning back because you can get Upa sweep doing that. This is where you should be able to strike someone on the bottom with, if you're like, even though both of the knees of Shevchenko are on the ground, because Grasso's back is on the ground, I believe she should be able to hit with her legs, but you can't in unified rules. Okay, so this is what I mean. Shevchenko's on top, and she's landing some decent ground and pound. And that submission attempt wasn't super close, but like it's going to be closer because Grasso is attempting submissions the whole time. Two hands on the mat for Shevchenko. You got to be careful with that. That is how problems begin. Yeah, the physical difference, man. Shevchenko is just a fucking beast. Right, look at her pushing on the chin, Shevchenko is, of Grasso, preventing her from getting to an elbow. Getting to an elbow so she can post her weight and turn. Attempted guillotine, but there's really nothing there. Her elbow's too high. It would have to be down for that to really be, yeah, and she lets it go. It's going to be interesting how they scored this one. Grasso might have taken it, to be honest with you. It really depends. I mean, 30 seconds left. Let's see if they can get, if Shevchenko can get some. Yeah, she hammers home a couple of hard elbows on the right-hand side. It's hard to say how they're going to score this one. She's trying to sit up. Oh, there it is. She's trying to sit up to wrap the head, and she ends up in mount, but there's only 13 seconds left. Then she goes to the back. That's even worse. Better keep rolling. Maybe Shevchenko takes it. It's a little hard to say. Yeah, Shevchenko might get it. All right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? By the way, Jake Cohen, welcome to the party. Demiism, welcome to the party. Anthony, the Spanish translator during UFC press conferences was absolutely terrible. Not sure if you saw him trying to translate what Lazy Boy said. He didn't. I guess I did not hear that. Alex, the 8th row is a perfect compliment to say, I wish I was high, but no, I'm stone cold sober. And I can't booze because I'm still on antibiotics. So it's like a whole fucking thing. Speaking of which, I got to take one. I see no reason why this can't be done every year with a different theme. Write off the loss as a marketing spend. This should be UFC's WrestleMania. I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. Look at this double timed perfectly. Look, she catches the underhook. But she got tripped out off the back. That's really great. John Guthrie, thank you. Welcome to the party. Lopez versus Volk next. You could do that. You could do that. Here we go. Boom. All right. Round 2. Grasso stepping in hard. Ortega, dude. Ortega doesn't jab here. He always steps and jabs like a boxing style jab. And which is there's always rights and wrongs depending on the circumstance. But Lopez was waiting for him and then just fucking cracking him when he was stepping in so hard. Grasso with high horns here, trying to weave her way in. Oof. Right hand just misses from Shevchenko. There's the double, and she gets it again, bro. Okay, here's an omoplata attempt, it looks like. She might get it here. She's grabbing the foot. You have to get underneath on the ankle. There she gets it. She could lets it go. She almost had a gogoplata. Okay, now Grasso's in full guard. Full guard for Alexa Grasso. Where's my medicine? No, that's not it. There it is. Finally, my goddamn, a month of antibiotics later, my cellulitis has turned the corner. Can you believe that shit? All right. Man, was this the easiest fight to call in terms of what you knew Shevchenko was going to do? You just knew the wrestling was going to be a key component. There, okay, here we go. Passing to half guard. That's something. She's still chest to chest, not really getting a whole lot with it. Let's see what happens here. Man, if the takedowns come this easy, I'm not saying like just give them up Merab style, but you got to do something with them. Like create some posture. She's trying to go for a head and arm triangle here. I don't think it's going to work. You can't it's hard to push up another person's elbow up. You have to be really, really strong. You can get your body underneath it sometimes. And then you don't want to push it up. You actually have to get behind it, which is a little bit different. If you've never been in the crossface before, she just got right out of it. Almost like a Barata Plata here, but no. She's trying to use the guard here. Grasso. She's trying to go for a triangle, but you got to bring her posture down. This is what I mean. Imagine if Grasso could kick in this position. She'd just be lighting Shevchenko on fire. There it is. This one can work. This one can work. She has to get her hips a little higher. That's the problem with that armbar from that position. All right, side control now on top for Valentina Shevchenko. If you've never been put in that crossface before, that's where someone has essentially their bicep across your face from that side control position, essentially. If someone's good enough, it can break your jaw. I mean, that's usually quite rare. All right, Shevchenko gives up. I should say Grasso is able to wrestle to her feet. Let's see what she can do here. 120 left in the round. Yeah, dude, she's just getting physically bodied by Shevchenko. She can't keep her off of her. 3 for 3, 100% takedown rate here for Shevchenko. Here we go. Oh, might be a reverse triangle here for Alexa Grasso, a Rainier de Ridder type. I think it's a little loose, but she might get it. She's trying to double it up with a Kimura. It's a little loose. It's a little loose. She doesn't quite have it. Yeah, there it is. But she's going to go like, oh, yeah, again, almost Barata Plata style. Not quite. Back to the armbar. Let's see. She's going to try and twist the other way. Yes. Yeah, but good sort of elbow awareness. But this is what I mean. Like, look who's threatening here a little bit. What was the most memorable strike from Valentina in that round? There wasn't one. You know what I mean? All right, round 2's in the books. It's an interesting one. The physicality of Shevchenko Grasso through 3 fights just does not have an answer for. Just doesn't have an answer for it. By the way, thank you, V Slice. We appreciate it. And then Ray says, Grasso refuses to get better at getting up. Jesus. Easier than, I mean, here's the thing as well. It's not like Shevchenko is posturing up to go for ground and pound, which is really where it gets from, where you can really like begin to like make some inroads. She's not standing over her, right? She's just going chest to chest flat. If someone's going chest to chest flat, it already makes it very difficult. And if they have a physical advantage over you, that makes it like really difficult. It's really hard to like frame out, dig an underhook, sit your butt out. It's just very difficult. So granted, she could be better at it, but it's the particular way in which Shevchenko is approaching this. But it could be her undoing, dude. If she ends up losing via decision because the rounds look like this and Grasso ends up doing just like a little bit more, who does she have to blame? She has no one. She has no one to blame. Here we go. Let's go. Bang. Right on time. All right. Oh, I'm a little fast. Hang on. Here we go. There we go. Right on time. All right. Round 3's in the books. Or, excuse me, round 3 starts now. If you're Grasso, I think you got to put her on her heels. She's going to shoot, but you would rather have her shoot retreating than pressing. It's a decent leg kick there from Grasso. A couple of them. Kind of like a push kick from Shevchenko. She ate a couple punches for it, not heavy ones. You know what? I'll say this. The gold gloves are kind of growing on me. I didn't like them at first. I'm still not sure how I feel about them, but I definitely like them more now than I did before. For sure. Man, Shevchenko being just very in the first round was countering physically, and now you just don't see a lot of that. She's just waiting to get her wrestling opportunity in. Dude, did Berlanga? I didn't see the final result. Did he go the distance with Canelo? That is shameful on Canelo's part. Here we go. Finally a better down blocking from Grasso. She stuffs a shot in the middle. Better. But you notice she has to get so far down that she nearly gives up the back take because she has to just drop so heavy on the sprawl. She can't like drop and then come back, right? Grasso misses with the right. Shevchenko counters. This is better for Shevchenko. There's the double. Jesus. Dude, Grasso's double defense is atrocious. It's like really bad. I mean, okay, it's like fucking hell, man. There's like no resistance to it at all. Good God, lady. All right, so Valentina's on top, cross facing her. I mean, Shevchenko's kind of, I mean, again, the second round's a little close. Probably she won the first. She probably won the second, but I could see some judges giving it to Grasso. But she's going to win this one unless something changes. So after this, she'll be up 2-1 or 3-0. Dog. Grasso. Now she has mount. Shevchenko, after she timed a hip bump escape from Grasso. Okay, now she loses it again after a second one. That was good timing, though. When someone hip bumps underneath, if you time it right, you can pass or you can move to mount because they're pressing so hard. When they come back down, they leave space. You can then move into it. A couple short elbows here. All right, bit of an elevation from Grasso, but she can't stand. She gets passed again. She's going to roll to her base. She's trying to come up with octopus guard, and that gets shut down. Yeah, dude. This was like the most identifiable area of need, and it just does not look like there's been any progress. Granted, I'm sure Shevchenko trained her ass off for this particular line of attack as well. So, you're not dealing with the same kind of thing, but geez. The difference is, the contrast is significant. And then do you see it again? She hip bumps, and what happens? Shevchenko sticks the leg over the far side hip and then rides it into the back. Yep. 3 rounds down. All likelihood, 3 rounds. Best case scenario for Grasso is 2-1. She's down. That's the best case scenario. Not a good night for Mexicans, boy. Well, it is, right? Because it's a celebration of the ball, but the Mexican fighters on this card been a little dicey. There's Diego Lopes all lumped up in her corner. That he's the man. I love his haircut. It's like emo comb over burst fade mullet. Amazing. There's like 50,000 guys in Colombia with like a similar haircut, by the way. Chase says every sub attempt, Joe says she's in trouble. Yeah, I mean, you got to like tune Joe out sometimes. We all love Joe, but V-Slice, do you think Merab's Sambo style will be able to off-balance O'Malley for a takedown? Yes, of course. Jan had success, and Merab seems to be better at takedowns. Yes, but also Jan would have firefights with him, and Merab can't do that. But yes, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind Merab's going to get him down. The question is, like, will it be enough? But, like, he's going to get him down. Damn, no love for Bolonga's effort. Why should I? Like, what? Okay, before tonight, what was his best win? Who did he beat that impressed you? Like, to me, it's like Canelo was like, I want to fight Bivol again after this. Is that the guy you think is going to fight and win and beat Bivol? Word? Sphere Show has been great. I agree with you from the beginning. Yeah, some people did. That video got mega down. Oh, fuck, I missed the beginning of this. Well, I fucked this up. They're at 4:33. Sorry. I was out there just reading these things. I'll get the round timer up for round 5. But that's one of the most downvoted videos I've ever made on my channel. Just a fuck you to everyone who said I was wrong. How about that? Guillotine attempt. Here we go. From half butterfly, she switches to a different kind of half butterfly, but see how the elbow's high? You can get it that way, but what you really want to do is be able to drive it in. It's just you're in. You have to be on the same side hip. So when you see it high in the air like that, you can get it that way, but it's really okay. This is a little better. This is a little better. You got to. She's got arm in, so you're going to want to see the hand that's choking. You're going to want to see that elbow buried a little bit beneath the shoulder line, which it's not quite there. That's getting there. Okay, she rolls her. This is actually this is tight, but now you see the elbow high in the air like that. She's going to be able to loosen it like that. Don't pull on the glove, Shevchenko. Don't pull on the glove. 325. She's pulling on the glove a little bit. Okay. It looks like she lost it. That was tight. That got tight. When she was able to bury it and you saw her roll with it, that's when you know it's starting to get tight. You are not allowed to, you can grab the blade of someone's hand. You are not allowed to do small digit manipulation. And she's going to get the head out here. Okay. It was good effort from both ladies. Good effort. But here we go. Grasso's on her back for the 4th round. Lopez's 7 haircuts were too much for Ortega. Joe is 5'5" with platforms on. He's head-to-head with Valentina at the weigh-ins. Also, Joe is the new Goldberg. I hate his commentary. He phones it in. I don't know if he phones it in, but, you know, not fresh as a daisy. Let's put it that way. So there's about 2 minutes left, 2:05. Shevchenko on top in half guard. So here's what's kind of interesting. If Shevchenko lost the second round and things kind of continue as they are in this round, it could be 2-2, which is weird to say, but it could be. I don't think it's 2-2, but stranger things have happened. Here we go. Now, here comes a head and arm triangle attempt from Shevchenko. She timed the roll perfectly. It's a little loose. It's not quite there. Yeah, and now she's going to lose it completely. Why did you roll back down? Just roll to your side. Okay, there she goes. She got it out. So Joe's like, oh, she still mounted her. But, like, dude, with the judges now, it's not to say that that mounting doesn't matter. But what really matters is what you do with the mount. Like, the way they're looking at it is like, okay, you move to an advanced position. The benefit of the advanced position is all of the offensive options that it confers. Not that, like, oh, like it's IBJJF rules. We're going to award you 2 points for that. Like, you know, or whatever the scoring is at this point. I've forgotten. Maybe 3 or 4 for mount. But, yeah, I think you get 2 points for I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long since the last grappling tournament I went to was the IBJJF DC Open, which they don't even do anymore. That's how long. But in any case, they don't look at it that way. They don't look at it like, okay, we're going to count it because she advanced position. They just say, okay, you advanced position. That means you have more offensive options. Use them. There we go. Everyone's putting their feet in the cage. Doesn't matter. The rules don't get enforced. You can press off the cage. You can't grip it with your toes. Mounted crucifix, but there's just 10 seconds left for Shevchenko. Here we go. And now she's just banging on her. Not with elbows, but kind of just with, that's it. Just a couple punches get through. All right, I'll be sure to get the round timer up. So I'm going to say could be 4-0, 3-1. I don't really think it's 2-2. Can't be 2-2, can it? (3-1) I think is probably right. 3-1. Let me make sure this is all ready to go. Yeah, okay. 3-1. Here we go. Dude, sick donation. Thank you, my friend. Keep up all the good work. I appreciate you. Appreciate what you do. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Ian says, girlfriend fell asleep and the guys are elsewhere tonight. Great to have you live commentating. Thank you, my friend. Does Benavidez beat current day Canelo? I think Benavidez beats him into retirement. All right, here we go. And you've got Grasso still breathing through her nose. Look, I mean, just in sick shape, but, you know, to no avail. All right, here we go. Round 5, co-main event, round 5. Here we go. Let's go. All right, round 5, boys and girl. Some lateral movement here from Grasso. Leg kick off of a hook that Grasso scores from the hook scored by Shevchenko. Man, I didn't see who the judges were. If Ben Cartilage is a judge, it's good. It could get interesting. Boy, I got to tell you, the hardest thing is to keep a UFC belt, but getting it back is. I think it's much harder to get your belt back than it is to win it. Um, the hardest thing is to keep it on a continuous streak. Second hardest would be to lose it and get it back. Third hardest would be to just win it at all. Oh, good one too from Shevchenko. Yeah, bro, she looks awesome. What can I say? Not a lot of offense, but when it's there, it's okay. Down block frame off by Grasso. She stuffs the takedown. That was better. So she's switching from underhooks to frames off the down block. That's pretty good. She goes for the takedown. She gets the body lock. She's going to try and go behind here. Shevchenko releases the head and goes to the whizzer. That's the right call. Let's see if she can do anything with it. I don't mind the call. 3 minutes left. She takes her. Oh. She moves to the back. Now she's got mount. Let's see if she can hold it because Shevchenko is pressing into the fence. She's going to lose it. That was great. This is interesting. Okay, they're 50-50 along the fence line, and Shevchenko takes her down. Dude, the physical difference is insane. It's like two different weight classes or something. It's ridiculous. And now Grasso is okay. Very good. Shevchenko almost gave up the back, and they separate. There we go. All right, they're standing. 2:43 left. Shevchenko's got. Oh man! So Shevchenko baited with the take. Okay, hold on. Great. Shevchenko baited with the strikes, knew she was going to get the leg kick, timed it to grab it to get the takedown, but a scramble from Grasso enables her to at least stand on her feet. It's still double unders from Shevchenko, and she's got good head position. She loses the head position, but now she's got far side wrist control. Let's see what she can do with it. Look at this. Grasso has an underhook on the left side, and the pinch from Shevchenko won't even allow her to hike it up. Look at that. See how she has the underhook? She has the underhook here, and she can't even hike it up. That's crazy. She can't get it up and then shuck her by because Shevchenko is just fucking pinching that thing down, putting weight on it. And it's a shallow underhook, too. She has to get a little bit deeper on it. She tries to get the trip, and it goes backwards for her. Yeah, that was a terrible idea. Yeah, I think Shevchenko's getting her belt back. This is the most one-sided of the three. Well, that's not true because she got submitted in the first. That's not right. But here we go. Body lock. Should they stand? Look at she can't even dig that underhook on that same side. Yeah, they're asking, like, would you want to see him fight again? Not after this. If Shevchenko wins, there's 47 seconds left. If she wins, why the fuck would you want to see it again? And they're just trading. And there's that takedown down block. She still has double under. She's going to run her backwards or she's going to turn her at an angle. Inside trip, falls backwards. Dude, what? Grasso goes for an inside trip and it gets so stuffed that she falls backwards. Are you shitting me? Golly, man. It looks like she's wrestling someone in a different weight class. I'm not even kidding. She had it looked like Shevchenko had a spiral, not a spiral ride, but like a claw, and then used that when Grasso turned to take the back. And that's it. I think I think Shevchenko's your new champ, boys and girls. I'm telling you, that's impressive as shit. That is impressive as shit. let me tweet this out. What do we have going here? Hey, Jonathan Sargent, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Look at this. Valentina Wolf just handing out memberships like a goddamn mensch. Thank you, Valentina. Stalin, that's a weird name, but glad you're here. Alan W. When did Joe Rogan become the Mike Goldberg of MMA? I think that's a little strong, but yeah. Let's keep. All right. All right, here's your decision. Here we go. $50-45. She fucking blanked her. Man, that's impressive. That's impressive. She blanked her. She didn't give her a fucking round. Well done. Well done. Not surprising that Shevchenko won, not surprising that she won with wrestling. Little bit surprising that. Look at the fireworks in the background. That's cool. That's cool. But a little surprising she blanked her. I will say that. To do that, 38 years old is impressive. 36. 36. Not quite 38. No fourth fight needed. Shev has won more rounds and arguably at least 70 to 75% of the minutes, all three. I agree. I don't need to see a fourth fight. I appreciate their rivalry. I think it brought the best out in Shevchenko. Certainly, like the she had to really drill down to what really mattered. But I don't need to see another one. Donkalicious. Welcome, my friend. Not sexist, but women's MMA kills buzz too often. Okay, here's the thing. I'm actually open to this argument. I really am. I'm open to this argument. I think it's actually a fair argument. I do think that the women's game has declined, and that's unfortunate. I don't think this is a great example. I mean, yes, it wasn't the most exciting fight, but this was hardly some travesty. It's a travesty, although I will say Grasso's takedown defense, not great. But in general, when it's a title fight, and particularly between like two talented competitors like this, I'm less keen to say that there's a whole lot to it. Alex says, was that one of the poor performances in a title fight in terms of Grasso failing to prepare her takedown defense? Yeah, not great. I mean, this was your third fight and you had 25 minutes in the third fight and you couldn't take a round off of her. That's bad. That's really bad. Women's flyweight is entering WrestleFuck era. Valentina going to hold on to that belt as tight as she can. I don't think so. I think that there's some challengers coming up that are going to give her some problems. I wouldn't be so sure if I was you. Tu Changs, Shevchenko, top 3 women's fighter of all time. Well, you have a Nunes up there. So, I mean, you have to think about it. Like, there would be other, I mean, it depends how you want to count it. Do you want to count like the Megumi Fujiis of the world? Then I don't know. But, top 5, certainly, right? Probably in the conversation for top 3, for sure. Anthony, Rogan has prematurely said it's over a few times already when the fight wasn't. He thinks his submission is locked in and claims the fight is over. He does that a lot, and he's not good at that. I agree. That part is not strong. Hey, if you got a vape, smoke them, right? I have to do this sober. I wish I could go smoke reefer, but I can't because otherwise this would be really, I mean, the analysis I give might be terrible anyway, but it would be even worse, right? So here we go. She's like, hey, it doesn't have to be trash talk. We respect each other. The thing about trash talk is I do like trash talk. I really do. Um, but it has to be like I can't get it when people are just like why are y'all trash talking? Because y'all just aggro fucking idiots. Like I don't care about that. But when there's like a real reason, okay, let them fly. Let them fly. Just tweeting this out, y'all. Sorry. Oh, is Turkey doing his terrible shadow boxing? Oh shit! They called him Kendrick Lamar. They just called Terrence Crawford Kendrick Lamar. Oh my god! I got a tweet about that. Dude, that was Terrence Crawford, and they had him fucking with Kendrick Lamar. Is that my imagination? Hey, Poatan. Yeah, Poatan. Poatan looking like he's joined a biker gang. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's BC. Oh, dude, they labeled. Okay, the UFC's been hitting a home run tonight. I'll give them credit, but they just fucking labeled Terrence Crawford Kendrick Lamar. Hey, you know what? You can't bat 1,000 in the majors. It's pretty hard to do that. Holy shit. Here's Sean O'Malley doing fuck games. Shadow boxing in the back there. Dude, that is hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. Henry asks, do you think Alexa got lucky in their first fight? No. She caught the back of a spinning attack that she planned to get. There's nothing lucky about that. It's just if one person has the ability to make adjustments, now who's better? Would you favor Fiorot over Valentina? Fiorot's a tough fight for anyone, and that one's gonna be boring. Your thoughts? That one, I'm not sure. She's got good takedown defense. Yeah, she's a tough fight for anybody. You know what I mean? All right, Jose, bienvenido. Fofo, what's up? Alan, LT back on that Robo Phallus sucking. Yeah, I mean, I got to keep something to keep me awake here at 8 a.m. in the morning. Is that a Geek Bar? Which one is this? Yes. Geek Bar. There we are. How cool are they? They're all right. They're not great. This is Watermelon Ice. It's it's White Trash Delight. Yeah, there we go. That's the actual flavor. Is Cyborg versus Jan Cuddles Finney the biggest beatdown in women's MMA history? Ooh, I don't know about that. There's been some beatdowns. You know what's one of the worst beatdowns? You ever seen Cyborg's kickboxing bout with Yorina Bars? Bro, Yorina Bars beat the living dog. Credit to Cyborg, dude. She hung in there. I give her credit. I give her mad respect for that. And that's not her sport. Yorina Bars took her to school, bro. Took her to school. Ridiculous. That is fucking hilarious that they did that. Holy shit. Oh, that's hilarious. They not like us. They not like us. Oh my god. All right. Hey, how you guys feeling about UFC 309? Jones Miocic, Chandler Oliveira too. Hey, I like that one. Oh, there's John Jones with a cowboy hat on. And there's his brother Chandler next to him. And he's dancing. And there's Arthur Jones, his other brother. Think John's sober? Who knows? All right, boys and girls, let's set the table. Main event coming up. As a reminder, when this is over, don't go anywhere because that's when the post-fight show really starts. We're going to have a full post-fight show. We're going to get to results, analysis, your questions answered, what worked tonight, what didn't. Obviously, calling Terrence Crawford, Kendrick Lamar will be one of those things that didn't work. But beyond that, there's a couple other things that I would say. One thing I'll just sort of hint at, the ability to hear the corners was a little bit much in this the way they had set up the audio. I didn't love that so much. So there's a few things you could point to that were like not so great, but we'll talk about all the things that were good and bad. Post-fight show. Don't go anywhere. Tu Chang says, Bones looking like the Hey, you said it, not me. You said it, not me. There we are. All right. Okay. All right. Just the main event left. It's late as shit. I'm gonna be up late as shit tonight. I knew I would be. Let me turn the AC on in the house. I'm cooking under these lights, boys and girls. All right. Y'all got like Google Home. You can adjust your thermostat from here. I do that shit. Turn the fan on. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Okay, here we go. I tend to think Umar is a worse matchup for Merab than he is for Sean, but he's a bad matchup for both. I feel pretty strongly about that. Instead of Umar's coming. He's coming. As the idiots would say, pause. All right, let's see what they got for this last chapter. I am very curious. Here we go. I'm going to turn it up just a little. What is this? Somebody flying? So it's like a modern Mexico. Looks like Wakanda. Oh, the bursting of the smoke in every direction. That's fucking cool. Oh, with the kaleidoscope. Sick. Sick. Oh, that's so sick. Let's see what stage they set. So it looks like modern Mexico City. So there's one complaint that people have had. Again, I'll save it. I'll save it for the post-fight show. There's another one I would say that it's a little bit fair. All right, Sean O'Malley versus Merab. I feel like if Sean doesn't win in the first 2 rounds, he ain't gonna. I don't feel like that's necessarily unfair. But like people are like, oh, can Merab take him down? There's no question in my mind Merab can take him down. Zero. There's no question in my mind Merab can get anybody down, even Umar. Can he keep him down? Can he keep him down for very long? Different question. But can he get him down? Yeah, he can get him down. I think Merab can, yeah, as I mentioned, I don't think there's a single person in that division who could like just blank him on takedown defense. Well, I guess let me back that up. Aldo did. Aldo blanked him. At the same time, though, he was so nullified he couldn't do anything else and lost. So Aldo, I guess, is the guy who showed you he could blank it, but he couldn't. He had no offense. So the two likeliest possibilities are Sean within the first 3 or Merab to go the distance. That's it. I don't think anything else is really all that realistic. What do we got here? UFC fight have done that on purpose with Crawford. I don't think they did that on purpose. I think that was just a production error. There's no way they did that on purpose. Like to be embarrassed like that, no. Just move on to Zin. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. I feel like if I started taking Zin, then I'm like, don't you have to have like aggressive right-wing politics to be into Zin? Abdullah says, I'm really happy watching UFC with you, brother. Yeah, me too, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Jones posted with Chris Brown, joke's going to go crazy. Oh, Jesus. 2 people not known for their physical restraint. Camera cuts to Rolly Romero, ESPN. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Ryan Garcia, John, and Oscar are all in one place. Oh, God. YouTuber says, is Jones Stipe historically bad matchmaking? Well, it's not bad matchmaking in the sense of like, what it means for the complexion of the fight itself. Although it's not great there either. It's bad in the sense of why the fuck is this happening? It's bad in that sense. Kendrick Lamar in Euphoria, 2 diss tracks before Not Like Us, and the best one, in my opinion, had the bar, I'm Terrence Crawford, I'm whooping feet. Manifestation. Good point. Good point. Fofo says, am I wrong to think that Merab is going to have a hard time closing the distance? He will certainly at first. After that, I don't know. But is Merab 100%? A lot of staff and fuckery from him leading to the fight. We shall see. We shall see, boys and girls. We're about to find out. Speaking of Merab, here he comes. Here he comes. I know that headdress in like the Dagestanis call it a papapka. I don't know if that's the same name or a different name for the Georgian in the Georgian language. I don't know. So if you're Georgian, please don't be mad at me. I just don't know what it's called in Georgian. But my man is rocking it, whatever it's called. By the way, I have to say that like Sean O'Malley's zing during fight week being like, he doesn't know, like this, this is how dumb Merab is. He didn't know that when water gets cold, it freezes, and he dove headfirst into it. I was like, okay, all right. I laughed. That's a good zing. I laughed. I like the drone shots too, by the way. Those are cool as shit. There's Ray Longo, King of Long Island. Who all's in his corner? I can't quite see the way they're shooting it. Aljo. I don't know who the gentleman with the tribal tattoos is. Aljo getting in a little bit of trouble on Twitter this week, saying some crazy shit about the whole cat eating thing in Ohio. That didn't go great for him. Ray says, in Sweden, that created Zyn, white nicotine pouches is the most sissy thing you can get, mostly been marketed for young girls until fairly recently. Yeah, cultures are all different that way, but here it's like hey, are you is the only novel you have ever read The Fountainhead? Try Zyn. All right, Merab is in the cage, boys and girls. Merab is in the cage. Here comes Sean O'Malley. Let's see how this goes. Tied for the longest win streak in bantamweight history with 9, 10-fight win streak overall. Most takedowns in bantamweight history, 66. Judo black belt. So what you want to look at with Merab is he does have double legs, but he's really a fan of the single. Okay? So what you're looking for in this fight from him is single legs, but that's not really the key. The key is the finishing on the single legs. He's got all different kinds of finishes. He's got a head outside high crotch. What he'll often do is he'll pull it up and then trip out the post leg. He'll take it and treetop it. He'll take it and run you back so that you plant your hands, and then he'll body lock you, right? So he's got all these different kinds of finishes, or at least ways to advance the position that he goes to. It's never really one way. He has a head inside single. What are they doing here? These what are these? Okay, there's a hologram of him. What are they doing? Oh, he's doing the superstar thing. Anyway, it's all the different finishes. That's what you're looking for from Merab. What ways does he go to finish the single leg, or what ways does he use the single leg to get locked hands from the back? That's what he's looking for. That's how he does things. And he might let it go. He might get to the back and then try and fuck with it and be letting it go. Conversely, for Sean O'Malley, what you're looking for from him is he'll fight the hands by pressing on one, underhooking the far side, and then using that to arm drag. So it's not just that you're looking for the single leg from Merab, but the variety of finishes, tripping, circling, head inside, head outside, treetop to run to the hands, all these different finishes. And what you're looking for from O'Malley is if he ends up in those positions, how quickly can he fight the hands to get to the arm drag? He'll go actually across his body to grab the far side of wrist and then use the other one to underhook and then turn. Okay, if you're joining us now, by the way, I don't know how long this main event's going to go. It could go the full 5. It could go 5 seconds, right? Post-fight show. As soon as this is over, post-fight show, results, analysis, your questions answered, the whole bit. What's the over-under that every fight on the main card ends with a decision because we're almost there? I mean, I don't know, but take the fucking over, right? All right, there's Sean O'Malley. Tim Welch in the back there. They don't look too concerned. They look pretty focused. Hasn't lost in 4 years. 7-fight unbeaten streak. Largest strike differential in UFC bantamweight history. Plus 424 per minute. That's a gigantic differential. Gigantic. The other thing you're going to watch from Merab, which Aljo did not do, he'll grab the single and then he'll run you in different directions to get you to hop on your leg. And then he'll trip out, hop, right, circle, head outside, whatever, head inside, whatever. He's going to disrupt your balance before he goes for the finish. Aljo didn't really do that. Why? Because O'Malley goes for that knee shield, right? He'll pick up the single, and then O'Malley will put his shin into the hip of his opponent. How do you get around that? You hike that motherfucker up super high, and then you kick out the post leg is one of the ways you do it. But you got to get that guy in motion. You got to get him in motion. So that's what you're looking for from Merab. The single leg, the different finishes, and then running the post leg into balanced, where he has to bounce up and down. That's what you're looking for. Can you get him to bounce on it? If you can get that, you're cooking with gas at that point. Man, what an atmosphere. Looks fucking awesome, if I do say so myself. Hell of a shot, man. Hell of a shot. Crazy tail. I love this tail of the tape with the two gigantic figures on the screen. It's fucking awesome. All right, here come the introductions. Terrence Crawford and His Excellency. This is from Michael Benson, who is His Obsequiousness. Turkey Al-Sheikh calling out Canelo Alvarez after his win versus Edgar Berlanga. Oh, that's awesome. All right, here comes Bruce. He's introducing him. Herb Dean is your referee. Here we go. Now. Look at the veins in Buffer's forehead, bro. He's going to be like fat. You know, you guys remember Fat Man Scoop? You got a $50 bill, put your hands up. All the chicken heads, be quiet. Remember that guy? He died recently, right? But did you see where he died? He died on stage doing that shit. I'm not saying it's great that he died. In fact, it's quite tragic. But I'm saying if you're going to die, doing it telling all the chicken heads to be quiet could be worse. Buffer might be like that. It's time. You know, it would be tragic. I'm not wishing it on him, but like certain kind of poetic nature about it all. All right, here comes Merab. He looks focused as shit. He's closing as a plus 110 underdog. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. All right. Wow. Here we go. Okay. Now we turn to Sean O'Malley, who looks like he's waiting for like news from the doctor about whatever the results came back on his STD test. Let's see how it goes. Sugar. Okay. Some more drone shots. All right. They're meeting the center. Here's your referee, Herb Dean. Look at that scene, man. How fucking cool is that? Look at that scene. They touch gloves. They touch gloves. All right. Let's get a last one in here. Let's get this ready so I don't jack it up. Here we are. Dude, look at this octagon girl. Amazing. Here we go. Boom. Let's go. Round one, they touch gloves. Here comes O'Malley putting pressure on him in southpaw stance. Let's see which leg he gives him. Stop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Merab's pointing at something. What the fuck are they doing? He's talking to somebody? Oh, my round clock is off now. It's 4:40. Sorry, guys. Who's yelling at Tim Welch? So good job by going to the body from O'Malley. Also retreating back to center, circling back to center, I should say. Let's see what he does. Stays in the center. Good job cage positioning thus far, but it's going to be a long fight. Let's see, to the body again. Oh, he does his front kick. I didn't know if he was going to do that or not. Switch the stance, goes to the body again, pushing Merab back. Again to the body from O'Malley. Yeah, it's going to be a real test of O'Malley's footwork here to kind of stay inside the black lines there. There used to be two. Now it's just one. Now he's outside the black lines. Let's see. Yep, let's see. So he does these lateral feints. He goes right, left. And you saw it again. He's kind of like basketball, jagged lateral feints. Goes right, left, and then comes right back to the middle. Merab right on top of him. Let's see. He's past the black line now. The line today, by the way, is like black, red, yellow, and green, and for the colors that they're using for the graphics packages. More shots to the body from O'Malley. Ooh, comes over the top of the right, doesn't get it. Jab doesn't quite go through for O'Malley. Another body shot from O'Malley. Just misses up top. And it goes back to the body. This is wise from O'Malley. He needs to get out of the nope. And then he finally changes angles. Then he's able to hit him up top. Just pay attention to the positioning of O'Malley. Where he is. There's the first shot. Single leg. Goes to the back. I mean, this is like clockwork. Trips him out. Did I not call this shit completely? You just knew this was happening. So here's what I'm going to say about O'Malley's takedown defense, or I should say ability to get back up. It is quite competent. It usually takes a little bit of time. Does he go for the arm drag? Let's see. Does he go for the arm drag? That means he would grip across here, then the underhook like that. Merab's going to soften up the legs. These are great knees. You got to stand, O'Malley. He's trying to do knee shield to stand. He builds hip height. Merab's kind of got the waist locked like that. He's trying to step over the leg to go to the back, which he does. Now he's going to ride. He's going to near side ride, which he does. But O'Malley turns, and boom, he escapes. Decent little sequence for Merab. But, like, could he get him down? There's no question he can get him down. But I still think the better work is being done by O'Malley. O'Malley just misses, whiffs on a punch. Here comes a single leg. He runs a pipe to the outside, and he gets him down. And there's a single leg X get up. And there's a guillotine attempt from Merab. He moves to mount, but he loses it. There's nothing there. Yeah, there's nothing there. He's holding like a front headlock, essentially. He's going to peel out the far side leg. He's going to ride it just like that. Okay, there is O'Malley building height. Goes to the far side wrist, just misses. He has to be very careful about overcommitting. Merab taunting him now. There's 12 seconds left. 8, 7, 6. Ooh, a couple of spinning back kicks or turning back kicks anyway. Miss. All right, round 1 in the books. What do you guys think? How'd you score it? What do you think? How do we score it, boys and girls? Canelo fought out his PBC contract tonight. I think he resigns. It depends. Does he want to fight Bivol? What does that mean? Does he want to work with Turkey? What does that mean? You know, do we all stop watching bantamweight if Merab wins? No, fuck no. The UFC needs a marquee annual event to be held at the Sphere when motivated. UFC's production quality is top notch. I certainly agree. Let's keep that there. Okay. Save your questions about this fight until afterwards. Please, por favor, unless you want to score it. If you want to score it, I'll put your score on the screen. But otherwise, save your questions for it. All right, Merab standing in the corner. Put his mouthpiece back in. Where's his mouthpiece? Mouthpiece. There we go. Merab, I think, did a good job in that round of avoiding damage. Did a really good job. Let's see if he can do it in round 2. Okay, here we go. Round 2. Fuck me. Mine's going to be about 5 seconds slow. Sorry, y'all. Man, Merab is loose. Sean looking a little more hesitant. O'Malley holding center, kind of waiting for Merab to come to him a little bit, putting a little pressure on him. Another shot to the body. Another shot to the body from O'Malley. Oh, misses with the right. Kind of gets intercepted there. That was a good job by Merab, actually. Another shot to the body. Yeah. Oh, dude, he's getting right underneath the right hand of Sean every time. Takes him down. Here we go. 309 left in the round. He's so good about getting under. I tell you what, man, his ability to like enter the space has dramatically improved. Closing distance. I mean, if this is how the fight's going to go, then it's a foregone conclusion. Merab's going to be your champ. But let's see. Body triangle here from Sean O'Malley underneath. Now he opens it. Going to have to do something. Underhook on the right side. Can he do anything with it? No. He's going to frame. Tries to get a knee on the inside. Let's see. Knee shield, kind of pressing on the hip. Omoplata. It's not going to work. So O'Malley is having a hard time either creating distance or getting underneath Merab. That's the best ways to do in jiu-jitsu, right? You got to get underneath a person and so that they can't control their own weight. He's got this kind of 10th, I don't know 10th planet terminology, but he's got kind of this way. Let's go now. It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, dude, this might be a long night for O'Malley. Okay, he frames a triangle. He has one hand. They grab the glove. Oh, they're going to find him? Okay, warns him. Amounted to nothing. Oh, yeah, he held the glove. Hardcore. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a no-no from Sean. He let it go, but Jesus. Knee shield now from O'Malley. Merab's all over him, man. All over him. So now let's see what he's trying to do. You see Merab with a half Nelson, using that to control his turn. He comes back with a triangle. It gets past. He's able to keep his knees on the inside. And he lands a hard right hand over the top as a consequence. Wrist control on the other side, but look at O'Malley. He's okay, got to a hip. Now he's got to his base. That's something. Front headlock from Merab, but he's going to chase the back, and then to give it up, Sean is just going to go to his back again. Yeah, boy, I got to tell you, like the wrestling instincts there are not going to suit him well like that in this fight. He stands. He gets to his knee, and now look at the Turk that O'Malley is being hit with here by he turns to his side and withdraws it. Now he's back on his shoulder. That's not great. Pushes to the side, gets his hips behind him. Okay, now he's back to his base. But Merab's all over him. Dude, Merab is just fucking running game on this dude right now. This is I mean, what kind of fight does this look like to you? This looks like every Merab fight. Dude, you got to build height. You got to get up. You got to build height. There it is. Merab real good about covering the backside of his hips so he can't go hips first. Right? And, of course, you always want to lead with the outside leg when you're standing up against the fence so you can press into the fence, and Merab is just battering that thing. Now he goes to the front headlock. He's going to sit into it. There's no choke here, but it's just going to look bad. You could push him back here if you're Sean O'Malley. You could actually run him backwards, but it's not going to matter. Oh. He let it go with a few seconds, and then Sean gets up and just tags him. It's still a Merab round. Merab's probably up, what, 2-0? 2-0 so far? What do you think? Probably 2-0? Other guy in Merab's corner is John. Oh, that's John Wood from Syndicate? I didn't even recognize him. Dang. 10-9 Merab. I'm an old head who scores leaning towards TDs and control. Yeah, me too. Merab moving like Kendrick Lamar. They not like us. They not like us. Reminds me of Conor Habib fight. Not quite. Conor put up a better fight wrestling early on. Look at this. Just gets up, bop. Okay, maybe try an uppercut instead of just a straight right. Fucking show him one of these instead of one of these or one of these. Did you hear Tim Welch? You're the champ. Show him. Yeah, it's time. Okay, let's get the clock ready. Here we go. There we go. Let's go. All right. Sean takes center, and Merab just looks like he is having a blast out there. I can't believe we're in the third round, and Sean hasn't even really hit him yet. That's crazy to me. I did not expect that. I thought for sure Merab would have to walk through fire first. Nope. Shot to the body from O'Malley. Where's the uppercut guy? Short uppercut. Merab just dancing on the outside. Front kick from O'Malley. I'm surprised. I didn't know if he was going to go with those, but he does. Yeah, like Rogan's right. Like the right hand to the body. It's really the only thing that Sean scored with. Another one. Backs up. Tries to take that sort of jagged timing. Changes stance. Tries to come over with the right hand. Can't get it. There's the single leg. Let's see if he can get it. Underhooks. That's better, but he just runs him down. Now we're in the front headlock. Oh! I think that one, he had a knee to the head, but I think it landed just in time before the knee came down. Now you can see him trying to darce it up. And look at him riding it looks like the back leg, he's trying to split his legs there a little bit, or at least prevent him from getting it behind himself. Yeah, dude, here's the reality. I'm not saying that like Umar is Merab. They have very meaningful differences in their game, but like if Merab can do this to him this easily, Umar was going to do this to him too. There's just no doubt in my mind. Oh. That one of those knees might have hit him when he was down. I'm not sure. He stands. That one counts. There we go. And O'Malley separates. Half a round left. Right hand to the body. Dude, and look at O'Malley, like his body language. It's all languid and he's reaching. Man, I cannot believe we're this far into round 3 and O'Malley hasn't landed shit on him yet. Knee up the middle. That's a decent attempt from O'Malley, but I don't know if it scored. I don't think it did. It's good timing. The timing was good. It's just the placement was a little off. Minute 30. Merab just constantly in motion. And he's able to back up so far. Dude, O'Malley has to pressure this guy because look at how far Merab can retreat. There's the single. He doesn't get it. Look at how far Merab has to retreat when O'Malley makes any kind of advance on him. He could just completely back out. That one landed a little bit. Left hand finally for O'Malley. Here comes the single leg. He escapes. Dude, get on your horse a little bit here. There's the single leg again. Tries to run it back. Can't get it. This is better from O'Malley. Oh, he went for a home run right hand and just missed. That one scored. That one got through. First nice shot from O'Malley, right hand. Definitely a better round for Sean O'Malley. I don't know if he won it, but it's definitely a better round. Oh, good left hand. Oh, and a knee scores. He might have taken this one. He might have gotten one back. Hard to say, but he might have gotten one back. Yeah, no more kicks. He's timing your kicks. He sure is. So, oh God, Merab's nose is a fucking disaster zone. Good Lord. You hear Ray Longo? Let's walk right through this motherfucker. Ray's the man. Tim Welch is giving him more of a pep talk than like tactical advice. Maybe that's what he needed. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. Round 4. Same way. O'Malley comes out southpaw, takes center of the octagon. Another shot to the body from two of them from O'Malley. Merab's on him. Merab's got a decent inside leg kick. You just saw it right there. By the way, John Wood was just like, no more kicks. And Merab went out and threw one. Shot to the body again. They're not all that impactful, but, you know, he's touching them. Right hand up top. Right? Because obviously O'Malley's changing levels. It looks like he's going here, and the punch kind of comes up. There it is. That lateral movement, those lateral feints. Good jab from O'Malley. Here comes the takedown for sure. Merab rushing that one. Ooh, just gets out of the way of a right hand. It landed, but not enough. But it would have been bad if it did. And there's the double, and he gets it. He does have doubles. He typically goes for singles, but he does have doubles. All right, 3:41 left in the round. Let's see what he can do with it. He's on top in half guard, chest to chest. Okay, there's an underhook and a butterfly hook. Let's see what he can do with it. Yeah, man, if they're on top of you like this and they're just not trying to give you any space chest to chest, it's very hard to get them off of you. It can be done, obviously, but it's not easy. Okay, O'Malley pushes him off of his hips. Merab collapses the space again. He's got one butterfly hook and half guard. And Merab is just driving elbows into his face. They're not super hard. They're short, but they definitely count. Going for a far side armbar, can't get it. And now he's going to give up potentially dope mount. Let's see if Merab can move to mount here. No, he's going to get stopped. Man, O'Malley has such a defensive guard, but it's not. He's trying to get elbow knee connection to create frames to prevent him from passing. But Merab's all too happy to just sit in half guard. You got to tilt his balance one way or the other, and you have to get him to sit up. One thing you'll notice from O'Malley is if he's able to like push on the hips and get Merab back, he doesn't follow by sitting up immediately, which is what has to happen. He kind of pushes him, and then Merab just collapses the space again. All right, now he builds to his base. Look at Merab capturing the far side wrist, lets it go, but he's just going to bang on this dude. Okay, O'Malley standing. Let's see if he goes. Let's see. Okay, he looks for a double. Let's see. Hands back to the mat for O'Malley, and then Merab. Look at the system of Merab. As soon as the hands go to the mat, what does Merab do? Knees to the thigh, over and over and over again. And O'Malley just sits down. Bro, no. You're going to get your title taken this way. Notice the other part too. Merab keeps the hands clasped, holds it, punches, and then immediately comes right back. It doesn't give much of a window to O'Malley to like usually when they open the hands, like when Jan would open the hands to go, that was when O'Malley would make his move. But he's just getting his base broken down every time here, man. This is crazy. Okay, double butterfly. This is something you can work with. You got to control the posting arm and then turn him a direction. Let's see. All right, he sits up. This is better. Let's see if he can stand. But then Merab adding this front headlock component is so deadly, bro. Normally, he would typically just go right to the back and let you stand. Now he's controlling from the front headlock so that if he loses the back and you get your back up against the fence, he can just then get the front headlock, and now he can control both ways rather than, I'm going to keep locked hands when you stand. Just collapsing him. Dude, he is all over Sean O'Malley. And, of course, Sean O'Malley stands in the flurry because that's when the grip is gone, but now he's losing. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, dude, this is Merab's fight to lose. That's it. This is Merab's fight to lose, boys and girls. Unless something dramatically changes here, Merab's going to be your new champ. Merab's going to be your new champ. Unless. Let's see. Tim Welch, dig deep. I got to tell you, look at the body language of Sean O'Malley. He's not even making eye contact with his cornerman. Look at his eyes straight down on the mat. Now he comes up a little bit, still not making eye contact with his cornerman. Terrible, terrible sign. Terrible sign. That is a telltale sign he is in deep shit. Independent of the score. Like, imagine you didn't know the score and you just saw this in your corner. Let's see if they show Merab's corner. I guarantee you he's making eye contact with his cornerman. I fucking guarantee it. Let's see if they show it. No way to know they didn't show it, but I fucking guarantee you he did. Here we go. All right. Let's go. Last round, boys. Last round. Yeah, short of a finish, O'Malley's cooked. And I think O'Malley thought he would have had this guy way hurt by now. I did too. I did too. And Merab moving like it's round one. O'Malley doesn't look like super gassed or anything, but he doesn't look fresh. Merab's kind of like avoiding the fight right now, not or avoiding any kind of dangerous contact, which I understand. Herb Dean asking him to force the action. Oh, overhand right into a single, which then turns into a double. You got to be shitting me. Tries to go to mount. Sean O'Malley builds height with his hips, gets to his base, walks to the fence. Outside leg. There goes Merab banging on the outside leg. As soon as that outside leg comes up, again, that's the technical way to stand up, right? The outside leg. You do the inside leg first, problems can happen. So he goes outside leg first, and then Merab just absolutely fucking bangs on it. And now O'Malley is in his corner. Tim Welch and then Tanquinho is there. Tanquinho's a beast. Hell of a grappling coach, but he can't save you. There's Jeff Bezos. By the way, Jeff Bezos of Amazon in attendance. Wonder what he's doing there. So he's got locked hands. Look at him. Putting his weight forward. So O'Malley stands as soon as the punching starts. That's good. That's when the hands come apart, right? And then he spins into it, and he gets the underhook, and they separate. 2:38 left on the clock. Bro, you got to go if you're Sean O'Malley. You can't wait. You got to go. This is it. You got to go. Yeah, left hand gets through for O'Malley. That's a nice shot. Let's see. O'Malley, you got to do something. A little bit of a slip from Merab. Nothing happened. Front kick from O'Malley, bro. What happened to the uppercuts? Where's the uppercuts, my guy? I've never seen a dude like Merab. There goes the single leg. He tries to run it back. He can't get it. It's a good job by O'Malley on facing him. Hands on the shoulder or head, or two hands on the shoulders, and then pulling the leg out. That's good work from him. One dude, O'Malley, what you waiting on, dude? Shot to the body. O'Malley hurt him. He hurt him. Ooh. Front kick to the body. You had Merab going. Ugh. And another one. Oh, he's hurt. There goes the single leg. Can't get it. Uppercut. Another one. Minute left. There's the single leg. He's going to run him back. He's fighting the hands. That's not going to be enough. He's going to whip it by. There you go. Go right. You better get back on that kick. There it is. Right up the middle. That's the one he hit Cheeto with. Front kick to the body again. Umar's going to see that and be like, hey, thanks for letting me know that the front kick's such a potent weapon on this guy. Sean, 30 seconds left, dude. Just throw. Herb Dean's telling him to work. Yeah, he's right. Fucking work. Shot to the body, right hand. Misses. Head kick, blocked. Another shot to the body, but he took it on that one. Dude, Merab is just kind of hanging on here. I mean, he's fine, but like, he's not throwing. This is it. 10 seconds. Single leg. Yeah. Picks him up and whips him down, a la what Kamaru did to Leon, right? Where you pick him up and then drop him on the same side on the single leg. Disrupt their balance, take them off there. And that's it. Merab's going to be your new champion. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Can't be. They're going to ask him to get off the cage. So I guess you had a main card, all decisions. Let's end up seeing. Hey, by the way, if you're watching, don't go anywhere. Post-fight show coming up. Post-fight show coming up. We're going to hear what the scores are. We're going to hear what Merab has to say. We're going to hear what Sean has to say. And then we're going to get to results, analysis, and everything in the post-fight show. Don't go anywhere. Post-fight show coming your way in moments. We're going to go through everything. We're going to talk about the Sphere. We're going to talk about the main event, co-main, everything on the main card, and answer any question that you might have. Don't go anywhere. Post-fight show coming up. Stay with me, boys and girls. I'm going to stay up. Join me. Join me. Man. Let's see that front kick. Ooh, that little stab to the body. That hurt him. That hurt him. Bah. That right hand got through. Excuse me, the right got through. There's people peeling out. Don't go anywhere. Post-fight show coming your way in moments. Post-fight show coming your way in moments. Stick around. Let me get the banner up. Let's make a new one. Let's do this. Let's see. UFC 306. Fight show starts in moments. There. Let's do it. Okay. Here are your scores. Wow. 49-46 and 248-47s. Merab Dvalishvili is your new bantamweight champion, boys and girls. He is the new one. He's the man. Dude, Ray Longo and his team, Chris Weidman, they made a champion. Matt Serra, they made a champion. Aljamain Sterling, they made a champion. Merab, they made a champion. They make fucking champions over there in Ray Longo's team. They make fucking champions. And he's hugging everyone on the team. All right. Joe Rogan's interviewing Merab right here. Merab, you have implemented the game plan? What's he saying? Let's see. Today, I wasn't feeling different than any other day. He says a normal day for him. Every day my stomach hurts because I'm cutting weight. By the way, Georgia now has two champions, the country. Ilya and now Merab. Small little country boy, but they produce some serious combat athletic talent. He goes, I made Sean O'Malley look normal. He goes, we fight and not always the best fighter wins, but tonight I'm the best fighter in the world. All right, I'm just tweeting this out so we can get this post-fight show going. Hey, don't go anywhere, boys and girls. Don't go anywhere. Post-fight show starts here in moments. I know a bunch of people peeled out, but stick with me. It's my favorite part of the night, right here. Merab's like, he's a great fighter, but I make them look normal. He goes, next in line is Umar Nurmagomedov. There he is. There's a shot of Umar. He's talking about how he respects Dana and blah, blah, blah. Now that I'm champion, I want to be close with him. All right. Well, I mean, come on, Merab. Like, get it over with here. Let's go. I'm losing viewers, Merab. Pick it up. That's right. Merab comes from looking for a fight, like Dana White's looking for a fight, which, like, I think had like 7 episodes or something. But they found Merab. Holy shit. We are normal. We are normal. Let's go, Merab. Wrap this up, buddy. All right. Let's see if Sean says anything, and then we're going to get this started. Did Sean leave the cage? That's it? That's it. All right. All right. Let's get this going, shall we? We lost enough viewers as it is. Let me turn this down so I can hear myself think. Okay. Let's turn this off. Let's get this going. So, time to reset. Hello, everyone. My name is Luke Thomas. This is the official UFC Noche UFC, Noche UFC, UFC 306 post-fight show. Results, analysis, and your questions answered. We're going to get to everything from what the Sphere was like to the main event, co-main, feature, and then we'll talk a little bit about the rest of the card that would happen as well. Any questions you have, fire something into the super chat, and then we'll get to it now. All right, we have a lot to get to and not a moment to waste. Without further ado, let's get this party started, shall we? All right, there it is. UFC 306 is in the books. Want to remind everyone, all live programming on this channel is brought to you by Toiletries. Toiletries is great for your beards. All the dudes out there, it's time to take care of your shit right here. Yes. And of course, they have great scrubbers as well. Use these, huh, fuck faces? Stop using your nails. It's gross. It's not fixing anything. Use one of these. You can go to toiletries.com and 50% off your order if you so choose. All right. With that in mind, let's set this up here just a little bit. So normally what I would do is I would go through and I would talk through the main event down. I'm going to do that. But I do think we have to start with a bit of an opening preamble on the Sphere itself. There was an enormous amount of questions, certainly an enormous amount of hype heading into this, and what would it all be like in the end? My position ahead of the fight was I did not know how they were going to make it work. I had been to the Sphere for a music act show. It blew my fucking mind, but it was hard to know exactly how it would go. And so my only question was I had seen an enormous amount of negativity, which I understood around the branding, which I understood around the ticket prices, and the card quality left something to be desired in certain ways. But in general, I thought people were being far too dismissive because I thought that the general atmosphere of the Sphere could lift everything up if it was done correctly. At a bare minimum, I was asking for restraint. Let's wait to see how the show went, and then we could judge it afterwards. Well, the show is over, so now we can judge it. It is fair to say that it wasn't a super magical experience at any point on the preliminary card. They did a couple of background changes, which were pretty cool, but there was really not that much special. And there was a lot of negativity on social media when the prelim card started. But then there was assurances from folks being like, wait until the main card. So then the main card happened. And then as predicted, there were these, I think they ended up having something like 5 or 6 chapters where they started from the beginning of time and then traced the history of Mexican sort of warrior spirit into the world of prize fighters that they became, and ultimately culminating with the main event. But they did more than that. They handed out those wristbands, which flashed green and red in the audience, which kind of added things. They had a different number of mics throughout the cage. They had double the number of cameras, and you saw what they did with the other atmospherics in terms of the sort of floor lighting. And then on top of that, like the Octagon girls having costumes that matched the atmosphere of each of the individual chapters. There was a lot going on. I'm going to say this. The UFC hit a fucking grand slam with the main card production at UFC 306. That isn't to say that it was completely flawless. That's really not my point. But in terms of what they could do based on the amount of time that they had and the resources available, that was fucking incredible. And the point I want to make here, let me close this off if I may. The point I want to make about all of this is that the pageantry and the grandeur that used to be a normal part of the elite MMA experience has been drummed out of the industry because of the way the business model works, which is normally just shipping content out the door at all times. According to Billboard magazine, the UFC didn't even want to do this show. They wanted to have it at T-Mobile, but the folks at T-Mobile gave it to Canelo Alvarez for Mexican Independence Day. And so Danny was able to get a one-time thing of getting out of their deal to do a show at the Sphere, and they leaned into it big time. And while not perfect, it fucking worked with flying colors. You did get pomp and circumstance. You did get grandeur, and you did get something of a real celebration of not just Mexican fighting culture, but Mexican culture more generally. You saw like the town squares that resemble Oaxaca. You saw the ofrenda that goes into their Dia de los Muertos traditions. You saw, the ruins, the Aztec ruins that are part of their broader history more generally. It was not just a celebration of Julio Cesar Chavez and Salvador Sanchez. It was much bigger and much broader than that. And I can understand some of the complaints that people felt it was a little too computer graphic-y, that kind of drained it a little bit from some versions of authenticity that could have been available. And I don't think that's necessarily an unfair critique. Look at what that in the broader scope of what they were able to do and how they were able to tell a story and how it had a unifying theme and how they leveraged the full scale of the technology that this extremely unique venue was able to offer. Guys, they fucking killed it. They killed it. Prelim card, no. But where they put their actual effort into it, it was a fucking grand slam. It was a grand slam. And I put that video up about a week ago, however long it was, when I was like, you guys are all wrong about this. I don't know if it's going to be good, but I know enough about this venue and I know enough about the history of MMA to be like, we should at least wait until it's over. Well, sure enough, they delivered. Sure enough, they delivered. Did they not? This is what I want out of elite MMA. The UFC is flush with cash. They're literally giving media members that they like $20,000 for fucking fun. If you're going to have that much money and that much of a stranglehold on the industry, the least you can do is leverage that a little bit for the rest of the consumer benefit once in a while. And they did. And they did. And people were wondering, why does it have to be Noche UFC? Can you not see now that they needed a unifying theme to tie everything together? And I know that kind of compromised card quality to an extent, because you're like, why is, Rodriguez and Osborne on the main card? Okay, fair enough. Although there's something to that, because Rodriguez is actually, Lazy Boy is like a big growing name inside Mexico, and they wanted to help push that forward. But I understand some of the other complaints. Nevertheless, look at what happens when they try. Look at what happens when they make an effort. Look at what happens when they really want to do something that, at least inside the combat sports space, nobody else will even bother attempting. And look at how much derision and negativity and cynicism that they had to swim through in order to get to the other side of things. An absurd amount. An absurd amount. Far more. A certain degree of skepticism was, of course, warranted. A certain degree of, I would never pay. Guys, I would never pay $5,000 to watch an MMA fight. Like, I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. So on that level, fine. We talked about this. But could they make a show that was memorable? Could they make a show that at times took your breath away? Could they make a show that at times was absolutely unlike anything else you had ever seen before? They fucking did it. They fucking did it. And for everyone out there who, again, that video I put out last week, it was provocatively titled, "You're all wrong about the Sphere Show," is one of the most downvoted videos I've ever put out on this channel. You sure about that, folks? You sure about that? How do you feel now? Did every single piece blow you away? No, not every single piece. But the overall quality of that show, the memorability, the look of it outside the ancient ruins and the town square, and now modern Mexico, and then ancient Mexico, and everything in between, and going into outer space and the formation and the graphics packages and how it pulled you in. They fucking killed it. They killed it. So I understand if the branding was confusing. Fine. I understand if some of the graphics individually were a little too computer graphic-y, it kind of maybe lost you at times. All right, fine. But for a first run in the build, they said this is one and done. Can you imagine if they get a second crack at this and they can fix all the things that didn't work about this one, that they can go and iron out and then lift it to another level on the next one? Guys, they smashed it. Smashed it. And for everybody who was insanely negative about this, I understand. If anybody understands cynicism about MMA, motherfuckers, I've been Mr. Cynical for 15 years. But if even I am like, hey, wait a second, folks, maybe, just maybe, if one of the most cynical bastards that's ever covered the sport is like, guys, you're being too cynical, it might be time to take a step back. They could have fucked this all up. If they had done what they were just doing on the prelim card, then it would have blown. It would have been terrible, right? Like if it was just that, I'd have been like, well, there was the hype didn't work. I mean, that was, whatever. It's not what they did. They delivered. They delivered. I do think that if they do this again, that the main event to me was a quality main event. I mean, Canelo versus Berlanga, no one gets graded on a curve more than Canelo Alvarez these days. Berlanga should have never been in that fight. He got dropped in the third. He should have never made it past round 9, much less round 6. And I saw people like, oh, look at his poise. Look at that fight was closer to the Harlem Globetrotters versus the Washington Generals than it was a legitimate fight. But at the UFC, you had a legitimate fight. And I've been defending boxing through all of 2023 and parts of 2024. This fight at the UFC tonight, Sean O'Malley versus Merab, was vastly more legitimate. However, what I will say is if they go back to the Sphere, I think they need to load that fucking card up. It doesn't need to be for Noche UFC. That was a fun thing that they did. They could do it again, I suppose, but I'm not sure how you would really repackage all of this. But if they ever go back, like a Connor type fight, John Jones is probably going to be out of the sport, but a Poatan kind of fight. And can you imagine the graphics with him walking out there and doing his thing with the bow and the whole nine? Can you imagine that? That would blow your goddamn mind, especially if they had a lead time to really, build that up. So I really hope people can reflect on this and realize we are so used to, in MMA, we are so conditioned to just expect gruel every Saturday night that we have lost touch with what used to be, at the elite end of things, a much more common reality of having a little bit of grandeur and polish and production put into our best. That used to be much more common, and it has been slowly bled out. Well, today was a massive transfusion. They brought it all back, or a good chunk of it anyway. And while not a perfect show, it was a fantastic effort on the part of the Ultimate Fighting Championship to raise the fucking bar. And if there was ulterior motives, hey, we were trying to impress Amazon. Jeff Bezos is there. Hey, we were trying to impress Netflix, because I'm sure their executives were in attendance, or Turkey Al Sheikh. That's possible. It is entirely possible that there are other reasons why they did it other than just getting back to the grandeur of things. But the recipient of the success of this, the recipient of the benefit of what they were doing here, it is you and it is me. More, please. More, please. Take a Conor fight there if you can. Take a Poatan fight there if you can, or whatever ends up being next. I don't know. Let's see what happens with Max and Ilya. Imagine that fight. The first one's bonkers and we have to run it back. Put the second one there. That's what I'm talking about. Really raising the fucking bar. Can you imagine the Hawaiian celebration when Max comes out to Hawaiian Kickboxer? I get chills just talking about it. So for all the dickheads who downvoted that video, take a moment to reflect a little bit about why you were so cynical. It was okay to have skepticism. It was not okay to decide before you even had a chance to look at it. And not some promoter trick. The world's most unique venue. There is one of these on planet Earth. Give it a shot. Let's see what they can do. Well, look what they can do when they try. Look what they can do when the Ultimate Fighting Championship wants to try. Look what they can do. Fucking magic. Pretty goddamn impressive. Let's put pressure on them to give us more magic on a more consistent basis, if at all we can. Okay, with that preamble out of the way, now it's time to talk about the fights. All right? As a reminder, if you have any questions, fire those into the super chat. We'll get to them at the end. Let me pull up these results. If I can here, excuse me just a second. And we'll get this going. All right. As we indicated, UFC 306 took place at the Sphere, or they're just calling it Sphere, in Las Vegas, Nevada, Las Vegas. Your main event, Merab Dvalishvili defeats Sean O'Malley 49-46 and then 2 48-47s. I'm going to need to see that scorecard. I don't have it in front of me. I'm going to pull it up and see which rounds that he won in the end. But it was the Merab show. It was the Merab show, if ever there was one. Merab is a remarkable guy. I want to pull the stats up because I think that can help us advance the conversation here a little bit. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Are these? No, that's not it. Where are they? Let me see. Oops. Let me. Oh, did I take it off? Here we go. Hang on. All right. Let me pull this up. UFC 306 fight metric. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Now, let me get that going and pull this up so you guys can see it. Let's blow it up. There we are. Okay, now I'm going to share this screen so you guys can see it. Let's do this one. Stats. Okay, allow. There we are. All right, let's do it this style. So then, let's blow this up if we can. All right. I mean, just look at these numbers. Sean O'Malley was held to 47 significant strikes. 47. 47. When was the last time that Sean O'Malley had 47 significant strikes in a fight that went over? Look at this. He had 230 in a 5-round contest against Marlon Vera. Almost 5 times the amount. This one only went 2 rounds. Dude, even in less than 2 rounds, he had 25 against Sterling. Jan went 3 rounds. He had 84. Dude, he had about half the amount he had against Jan in a 5-round contest. Are you shitting me? Completely shut down his offense. He couldn't get dick going. This is going to fuck up his numbers too a little bit, like the overall average total. That is shocking number. Shocking number. Let me close this up here. This one's getting in the way. All right, let's see here. O'Malley had 14 in the first round. Look at this. Single digits in round 2, single digits in round 4. Held him to single digits. Your takedowns, 6 of 15. That's actually a pretty good job by O'Malley. 2 in the first round, 1 in the second, 0 in the third, 1. He had almost a takedown in every single round. And look at the targeting here by Sean O'Malley. He really tried to go head and body, no leg kicks. I can understand that. The body attacks, I really feel pretty good about it. This is standard Merab, 28% to the leg, 67% to the head. He's a headhunter. The percentages in terms of the targeting, there's really nothing new here. But the overall volume, the shocking lack of volume from Sean O'Malley, there's your takeaway. 6 of 15 is kind of interesting. But that's even that is like 6 of 15. I think Merab averages over 6 per 15 minutes. So for him to be held to 6 through 25, that's actually pretty good. Granted, part of that is from control time, but nevertheless, like that's below average for Merab. But the 47 significant strikes, dude, Sean O'Malley could get nothing going. The big lesson here is we knew what to expect, right? Merab is going to come in. He's going to go for the single legs. That's going to be his bread and butter. We already knew that, although he did get that one double leg. And he's going to have a variety of finishes. He's going to have a head outside, high crotch finish. He's going to have a head inside single. On the head outside, he might go and run the pipe. You saw that. On the other one, he's going to take it and run it back to get Sean to his hands. What did he add to that? He got, of course, as soon as Sean puts the outside leg up to press himself into the fence to stand, he's banging on it with his own leg. And then rather than letting guys build height all the time, he goes, as they turn to face him, he then gets the front headlock and then controls them from that particular space and keeps them struggling there. Can't really, you saw one time he tried to go for the Darce. He couldn't really get it, but he has now this system in place. I'm going to reach for the single, head inside, head outside. I'm going to trip the far leg. And what did you notice? When he gets it, there's one time where he picks it up and then turns him and drops him. That's the exact same takedown, I think, in the second or third round that Kamaru Usman hit on Leon Edwards in their third fight. He got that one. But more to the point, once he grabs your leg, he's running you off your balance. And he did such a good job on Sean O'Malley of never letting him build height. That's really the key. Head height or hip height. He was constantly taking away. Height is once you build height, that's when you now can begin to build your base, and you can then add other layers of defense into it, underhooks, collar ties, whatever you might end up needing to do, changing your balance. Building height is critical to ultimately being able to escape, reverse position, you name it. Merab did such a good job of denying him the ability to build height. Jan didn't really do that. Jan was not nearly as good at that. And look at the results in the end. I got to see if I can get my nerd wax here. Do I have any here? Fuck. I think I lost my nerd wax. My glasses keep slipping. Doesn't matter. That's the story of that fight. And look at the control time. Here's the control time for Merab. Let's pull this up here just a second as well. Control time. 1:20 in round 1. Now, part of that is just being on top, like not necessarily like top control, like chest to chest, but having a top control, top position. 3:12 in the second, just 52 seconds in the third. It's probably a round that maybe, depending on the quality of the strikes, Sean got. 3:37 in round 4, and then a minute in round 5. So O'Malley probably won. O'Malley definitely won the 5th round, and maybe the first or the third. I would have to go. No, probably the third. Which is where the 48-47 would probably come from. But I mean, you can't find 3 rounds for Sean O'Malley. You can't find 3 rounds. You can't. That's a very clear decision win for Merab in this particular case. And Merab, he hasn't crossed over into a position where he is, really learning how to become a finisher. He can't quite do that, but he is clearly still building his offensive system between, I'm going to go for singles. I'm going to run you to your hands. I'm going to get locked hands behind you. I'm going to take away your ability to build height. To the extent you do, I'm going to physically punish you for it. And his ability to get into range without being hit has also gotten significantly better, even since the Henry Cejudo fight. He didn't come square all that much with dude. Like, think about this. Henry Cejudo did more damage striking than Sean O'Malley against Merab. Henry Cejudo. 37-year-old Henry Cejudo. Think about that. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. And it's true. And it's true. That is how little he got going in this fight. And I even said it, by the time the 5th round happened, they didn't show the corner of Merab. Go back and look at the physical body language of Sean O'Malley. Looking down, absolutely mentally defeated. Now, it's kind of funny. His 5th round was maybe his best one, but nevertheless, he was feeling it heading into the 5th. He was feeling it. Merab put it on him. Merab's ability to add that front headlock, to have all those different finishes off the single, to have the ability to control for creating height, and the ability to now get into range without being super compromised and getting hit. I mean, you know, Sean's still a better striker. I don't think that's necessarily unfair, but those things he's added to his game make him Umar is the only one who's got something for him. Like, I love Corey Sandhagen. I love his game. I love his striking. I don't think Corey Sandhagen can beat Merab. I just don't think that. I don't know. I doubt many of you do as well. Maybe there's somebody else who can come up the food chain and get it done. I don't know. But like the other guys at the top, I don't think they can do it. Umar is the only one. Umar is the only one who I'm like, that guy might be problems for him. But it's such an overwhelming thing. And I want to say one more. Like, it is so rare for a complete decision machine to be as adored in the fight game as Merab is. Look at this guy's fucking record. It is so unlike what is the typical profile of like a fan favorite kind of guy. Now, these numbers are bonkers. 450 strikes landed per minute. That's pretty good. His striking differential is positive by multiple integers. That's also pretty good. His takedown average, 6.43 per 15 minutes. That's what I mean. He got 6 in this fight, but that was through 25. So it was actually below average. But look at this. Against Sean O'Malley, decision. Against Henry Cejudo, decision. Petr Yan, decision. Jose Aldo, decision. He gets the stoppage against the very washed Moraes, and then he beats Stamen, decision. Dodson, decision. Gustavo Lopez, decision. Casey Kennedy, who turns out to be a horrible person, decision. Brad Katona, decision. Terrion Ware, decision. He gets finished by Ricky Simão. That was a little bit of a controversial one. And then he lost his by split decision, his debut all the way back in 2017 to Frankie Saenz. Look at the last 4 of these. You can count out, Stamen's a good fighter too. I don't want to like not include him, but Jose Aldo, former champion. Petr Yan, former champion. Henry Cejudo, former champion. Sean O'Malley, former champion. Guys, he beat 4 champions in a row, or four guys who had held the belt at one point. 4 former champions and 1 active champion, obviously, in a fucking row. And blanked him too. Jose Aldo fight, not close. Yan fight, not close. Cejudo fight, not close. O'Malley fight, not close. It's crazy. The only way you can be a decision machine and still be this revered and adored is if you can just launch tidal wave offense like this guy can launch it. Tidal wave. Now, we do have to discuss the Sean O'Malley side of things, because I can tell you with great certainty that when he was coming up through Contender Series and then some of those early stage fights he had in the UFC, he was legitimately on the path to superstardom. Like, his numbers on the Contender Series were crazy. His early numbers in the UFC, his first like 2-3 fights, were like I know people who saw those numbers, and they've told me that like it was like way higher than what anybody else had done around that same time. But somewhere along the line, the fan base kind of soured on him a little bit. And then it was this thing where it's like, oh, is he going to be the next superstar? And the fans had kind of rejected this framing, right? They didn't like that. They didn't want that pushed on them. And you could see that there was like this, he was still kind of growing popularity for sure, but there was this kind of rejection of this narrative that he was the next guy up to be a big superstar. Well, that certainly took a hit today. And the worst part is, it's like, I don't know how much time Merab has left at the top of the game. We'll see. But even if he doesn't, between him and Umar, they're going to keep out a lot of good fighters from doing big things. It's a tough spot for O'Malley to be in. It's a tough spot for anybody not named Umar/Merab to be in, quite honestly. But this will hurt his stock. There's just no denying it. It's not going to collapse. I don't think that's quite right either. His haters might be having a great day today, but his stock is not going to collapse. But all of the things that he was kind of hinting at, like, hey, I'm going to be the next guy behind Conor, which was probably also debatable, but the things he was saying, the expectations that he had, I'm going to go up to 145, I'm going to fight Ilya, all this stuff, all of that got shit on today. Big time, not a collapse in his stock, but certainly a big reset moment for the inevitability of Sean O'Malley. I think he thought there was a certain amount of inevitability. That got taken away today. No question about it. 47 significant strikes in a 5-round contest. 47. 2 rounds, single digits. You just can't claim to be a transcendent guy and then turn in an anemic offensive performance like that. It doesn't work that way. If you admit it close, dropped him a couple times or something, there was like real back and forth, and that, Merab eked it out. Right guy won kind of thing, but eked it out. I'd feel a little bit different, but that was you just got shut down. You just got taken for a ride. Big bank take little bank. 80 foes and candy paint. That's what that was. All right. Let's talk about that co-main if we can. Your co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko defeats Alexa Grasso 50-45 all the way across. This was another one that seemed very, very easy to call ahead of time. We watched this one together. Sure enough, we knew what it was going to be. What was the lesson from the first to the second fight? Shevchenko stopped doing the spinning attacks. That's obviously what got her back taken. And what did she up in the second one? The wrestling. The wrestling was a big one. And what did we notice through the first 2 fights? That Shevchenko was clearly the more physical athlete of the two. And she went right back to that in this particular fight quite ably. Now, there was a couple of rounds where I thought it got a little close, where she would have good takedowns, good control time, not a ton of ground and pound. There was really no close submission attempt. She would potentially go from back to mount or back again. So she's advancing through position. But in the end, even if you wanted to give maybe 1 round to Grasso, which I think you could probably give her 1, it wasn't nearly enough. Oh my God, dude. Okay, we're talking about O'Malley's anemic numbers. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this. 18 significant strikes for Alexa Grasso in a 5-round title fight. 18. Are you shitting me? Look at these numbers. 2 in round 1, 2 in round 2, 5 in round 3, 1 in round 4, 8 in round 5. Now, in fairness to her, in round 4, Shevchenko only had 2. So it's not like they were like, burning and turning. Okay, fine. But still, and the rest of them 10. Again, she had 3 in this one too. Yeah, Shevchenko had some anemic numbers along the way, but then 16 and then 14, she was able to get it going here along the way. So this one went about as according to script as it possibly could have gone. This one, you knew it was going to come out and be that way. And I have to tell you, I am a little bit shocked at Alexa Grasso's takedown defense. This was the liabilities of the second fight, only magnified even more in the third. And they had the Ultimate Fighter season together. They had an enormous amount of time that elapsed between the second and third fight. And she looked even less prepared than she did the second time for something like this. But you have to give credit to Shevchenko. The hardest thing to do in mixed martial arts is to routinely defend a UFC title. That is the hardest thing to do. That is the very hardest thing to do. The second hardest thing to do is to lose your title and then get it back, especially if time has elapsed. She's 36. She's going to be 37 in not, I think, just a few months. Not, or maybe that's not quite right, but not, clock's ticking on her. And she got it back. And then the third time they fought, she dummied her opponent on all 3 judges' scorecards on all 5 rounds. All 15 of them, she won. That is ridiculously impressive. Ridiculously. Knew exactly what the assignment was and stuck to it and got the job done as a consequence. Again, going back to this, 8 takedowns in total. 1 in the first round, 2 in the second round, 1 in the third round, 1 in the fourth round, 3 in the fifth round. She got a takedown in every single round. Every single round. And she knew the exact kind she needed to, the double. Level changing underneath the strikes and getting it. And dude, how is Alexa Grasso's takedown defense at this stage? It's not the first time you fought. It looked like it was the first time she fought Shevchenko in terms of the lack of preparedness. It looked like the first time. I'm not saying it looked like the first fight. I'm saying imagine you had never seen these two fight before. This is how it might look in one of those fights where you're like, oh, I wasn't ready for the kind of takedown defense that I needed to have against this particular opponent. Let me get another crack at it. Nope. This was the third time they fought, and it looked like that. Woeful. I'm not going to be one of these guys that's like Stephen A. Smith up here being like, this was unconscionable. I don't know if it's unconscionable. Like she committed some great moral sin. I don't think that's the kind of language that I want to use. But what I will say is just not championship level kind of development at all. Not championship level preparation at all. It can't look that much worse than the second one, and that way worse than the first one. She could do nothing to her. There was that one guillotine attempt that was good. There was something to it. You could have maybe given her the round. That was it. All the guard work underneath couldn't get shit going. She had a hard time building height, if at all. And, listen, Shevchenko was playing shutdown defense, and that makes getting anything going hard. I understand that. But how were you giving up the takedown that easy? And remember the other part, too. She would then level change so hard to down block to prevent the takedown that she would pancake on the ground and couldn't spring back up. And so Shevchenko at times would just run to the back. And then the whole cycle would get started over and over and over again. I appreciate some of the armbar attempts from guard from Grasso. That was not nothing. Again, that one guillotine attempt, that was cool. But this was not a strong effort. This was not a strong effort at all. It was the worst one she's had, basically, of the three. She won the first time outright. She got lucky with the second one, I think we can all say. Plus, it was competitive. And this one, she just got run over. She got completely run over in this one. I don't even want to look at the apportionment of targeting. What good does it even do? Yeah, Shevchenko still a headhunter. 84% to the head, 6% to the body, 8% to the leg. That's about right. That's really nothing else to say. Dude, it wasn't like a complex game plan, right? That's the crazy part from Shevchenko. It wasn't a complex game plan. She didn't roll out anything new. She knew exactly where the openings would be and went right for them, and virtually all of them worked. There was a couple of moments in the striking where you could tell she was waiting and then countering, which she typically does, and then she was doing it with real hardcore authority, and some of that was deterring, I think, Grasso as well. But the wrestling was the story. It was the most predictable fucking part. And because it was so predictable, I think a lot of us were like, well, she'll do better this time, right? I mean, surely she knows this is coming. She couldn't. It degraded from there. It got even worse. So a really, really terrible showing. There is absolutely no need at all for a fourth fight. There was a question I had on the live during the chat. Someone was asking, does this put Shevchenko all-time top three? It certainly could, among the best women's MMA fighters of all time. You got Nunes up there. Again, historically, there's a question where you want to put fighters like Megumi Fujii. I wouldn't put Rousey necessarily in that particular space. So Shevchenko is almost certainly in that conversation. She would not be number one, obviously, but she would certainly be in that conversation. And if I'm her, I might try and test my luck and see if I can't go champ it up another weight class. I don't think they will. Manon Fiorot weighed in on this card as the backup just in case. So obviously I think that those two are probably going to meet next. That fight is probably going to be real boring, if I can be honest. But for Shevchenko to be as decorated, the best champion ever in this weight class, lose it, get kind of screwed in the rematch, and then come back out and leave absolutely no doubt at all at age 36, that's some generational level accomplishment. That's the kind of athlete and that's the kind of champion you're dealing with. A generationally good fighter. To wrestle back, quite literally, your title at age 36, given all of the uncertainty and all the difficulties and all of the opportunity this particular opponent had to get right, and they got blanked in the end. Not a round to show for their efforts. 18 total significant strikes. 18. That is an absurdly anemic number. She is credited with 2 submission attempts and then 16 minutes control time for Shevchenko. So you're dealing with somebody pretty special there. I don't think she's going to get the champ opportunity, but it would be kind of cool if she did. We'll see what happens with the Dumont fight, or excuse me, the Manon-Fiorot fight. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens with some of the other contenders behind her in that division. There's no shortage of them. Natalia Silva's coming. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. But Shevchenko really, really, really dialed in, knew exactly what the assignment was, grabbed that fight by the scruff of the neck, and never let it go the entire time. And you have to respect that, and you have to admire that. Where Grasso goes from here, it's not even a question of like, what does she need to work on? It is fucking obvious what she needs to work on. Right? Shevchenko is a unique beast, but if Shevchenko can have that kind of success, then virtually anyone in that division who can wrestle with some authority is going to cause problems for her. This is exactly where she needs to work on. All right, moving down the list here, Diego Lopes taking on Brian Ortega. He wins, listen to these scores, 30-26, 30-27, and then 30-27. He had a better second round in that fight, but in the opening seconds of the first round gets absolutely fucking floored in that round. Like it was no one's business. The third guy to get dropped charging in, he got dropped. I think Ribovic got dropped with an elbow. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. And then Rodriguez got dropped rushing in as well. No, excuse me. It was Torres who got dropped running in. I don't think it was Ribovic or Ribovic, whatever. Excuse me, I'm wrong about that one too. It was no. That was it. That was the Bahamondes fight. Okay, but getting back to it, dude, Diego Lopes, this was a statement win here tonight, and one, no doubt about it, a complete statement win. He is going to be. I don't know if he's going to get a title shot from this because there is a bit of a logjam up there. You could do Diego Lopes versus Alexander Volkanovski. There's a couple of ways that you could skin this cat. New cycle jokes notwithstanding, but this was a phenomenal performance by Diego Lopes. Sliding back, dropping Brian Ortega to start, going into his guard for a little bit, or at least getting above him and kind of shutting all that down, getting great ground and pound. You have to give Brian Ortega an enormous amount of credit for his ability to withstand, get back to his feet, and then finish the fight, quite honestly. But he got his shit rocked in that first round. Diego Lopes, like, what makes him special? Okay, he's well-rounded, yes. He's got a really good ground game, yes. He's got a lot of offense everywhere, yes. His reactive decision-making is so lethal. Like his muscle memory and what offensive technique he goes to through his muscle memory is just devastating at all times. He makes these like split-second decisions about when to throw and what to throw or what to pursue, and they have devastating consequence. And he does this every fucking fight. He did it in the Sadiq Youssef fight. He did it in this fight. I guess he didn't do it in the Movsar fight because Movsar's a little bit different, but even to an extent against Dan Ige on short-ass notice, he did it. His muscle memory about what he's trying to pull off is bonkers. I want to look at some of these numbers if I can here, because I just can't believe what this fucking guy can do. He landed 106 significant strikes to just 63. I'll pull this up so you can see it. For Brian Ortega, there's his numbers right here. His stat line. He gets one takedown. I'm surprised he didn't get credited with a knockdown. That's crazy. He didn't get credited with one. I guess it's because Brian Ortega kept scrambling, but we know what happened in this round. 2 minutes of control time. That's a shit ton. He numerically outstruck him here. He super numerically outstruck him in the third. I believe it was the second round, or maybe it was the second or third round. He dropped him with the leg kicks as well. So let's look at the targeting by Diego Lopes. Yeah, 16% of the leg. Not super heavy. Still a bit of a headhunter. Super headhunting from Brian Ortega. But just beat him up everywhere. Dropped him with punches to the head. Dropped him with like just a battering effort on the leg kicks. Went into his guard, utterly unconcerned. I mean, ultimately had to retreat because it just wasn't necessarily the most fruitful option, but it was not overwhelmed by any stretch of the imagination. Dude, he's good. He's good. And Brian Ortega kept stepping hard with the jab. Like, you can move around and you can jab without necessarily stepping into it. Again, it's all context dependent. That could be very much the right thing to do in certain cases or wrong in other ones. In this particular case, he kept stepping hard with the jab. And so as soon as he did, without rolling or exiting, bop, 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 he just kept getting lit up. by Diego Lopes. Ridiculous. And then he would just constantly fire on those leg kicks, tearing up his left leg. There's this gigantic welt on the outside of it Brian Ortega had. And he got absolutely fucking crushed for it. And so now he finds himself not at the very top of the division, but pretty close to it. I got to tell you, if like it doesn't matter who wins between Max and Ilya, Diego against either of those guys is awesome. Against either, he's awesome. It does bring up a question about Brian Ortega. How old is he now? 33. He'll be 34 in February. He's got a little bit of time left. Like where he goes in this division. Now, the interesting part to me is he's going to be fun no matter what. He did show incredible resiliency here. I think if he goes to 55, there's a lot of fun fights he can make. But I think his days as a title contender might be over. It's a little premature to say, but feels like if the window isn't closed, it's pretty close, right? If it's not all the way closed, it's not far from it. You know, he is, he's up against it at this point. He's really up against it. And I think he's still got the kind of skill set and the kind of matchups you can make. You put him against Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier. You can put him against, you know, you name it, Tony Ferguson, Beneil Dariush. I mean, the 21 I don't want to see. But, you know, I'm pointing out like the names at the top of lightweight versus Brian Ortega seem like they'd still be great fun. And so I think that for that reason alone, he's still going to be in big, important, relevant fights. But like the guy who could wrestle the belt away, I don't see that anymore. I don't see that. There's too many other good guys that are starting to just move into that space and begin to take it away. And I think that's going to hurt him long term. Yeah, I mean these are ridiculous from Diego Lopes, just outstriking him everywhere. He got a takedown in the first round. He got a total of nearly 3 minutes of control time. Brian Ortega went 0 for 2 on takedowns. He missed one in the second and missed one in the third. I don't quite understand why they didn't count the knockdowns. That part's a little weird to me, but okay, it be that as it may. Your guys are there below them. Esteban Ribovics. I can never know how they probably pronounce it. And by the way, in Spanish, I think it'd be Daniel Zellhuber. So I'm going to say Daniel Zellhuber because that's kind of how we would say it in English. He wins. Esteban does via split decision, 29-28, 28-29, 29-28. Round of the year in that contest, fight of the year candidate. Daniel Zellhuber in the third round showed an absolutely uncommon level of resiliency. I forget who the referee was. I believe it may have been Jason Herzog, who let it go, I think rightly. And I just want to say that whatever they made tonight was not enough. Those two guys put on a fucking fantastic fight. And let me pull up the stats because didn't Ribovics get I think he got rocked or dropped. I can't remember the details anymore. I think he got rocked or dropped in that one. It was a close first round, numerically 27-24 in terms of the significant strikes, Zellhuber to Ribovics. But then it kind of got a little bit more for Daniel in the second one, 51-40. But then listen to this, in round 3, 43-92 in favor of Esteban. He hit him, rocked him with a right hand. I think he got hit with his own elbow coming in and survived it, then turns the tables, rocks him like a motherfucker, and did everything possible to finish him other than throwing an uppercut, but nevertheless rocked his shit. And somehow he held on in the most miraculous of ways. Ridiculous what these guys were able to do. Fun fight. The one knock on Zellhuber has been he kind of takes too much damage. I think this fight was a good reminder of that. When he plays the distance game and he uses his weapons, you can see that elbow he snuck in. He snuck in 2 of those. The second one, I think, sent Esteban off of his feet. Nevertheless, he's got great offense. He's got good tools, and when he uses them correctly, he uses them to great effect. But he gets hit too much. And this fight was a kind of reminder of this. I thought the accuracy of Ribovics as well as the hand speed was really a little bit too much for Zellhuber. So he was able to just crush him, I think, on the exit on one of these shots. And that's what started that whole chain there at the end, ultimately. So Phenomenal round. I don't know where exactly the winner goes from here in terms of like any ranked opposition. I mean, by the way, in the beginning, like Raul Rosas Jr. gets a win, and he was like, "Oh, give me a top 15 guy next." Yeah, no, let's not do that. He's absolutely not ready for a top 15 guy. But fine. Like in this particular case, I don't think he's as far away, but just a hell of a contest. Really fun. You knew on paper that these two guys were going to deliver because you got an aggressive guy in Ribovics and you've got another aggressive guy in Zellhuber, but also one that takes a little bit of punishment. And sure enough, that is exactly what ended up happening in the end. So really, really, really fun contest between them. No doubt about it. And then to open up, Ronaldo Rodriguez defeats Ode Osborne, unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-27. Here's what I don't get. I don't mind that Rodriguez gets a 10-8 on two of the judges' scorecards for his second round, but how does Osborne not get a 10-8 in the first? That's the part I don't get. Like, fun fight. I get that lazy boy who is Rodriguez. They're trying to build him up. He's huge in Mexico. I get that. I get all that part. I understand why he was on the card. They had a good, fun fight. It was great. How is Osborne not getting a 10-8 when Rodriguez is? And I know, like, Rodriguez, let me see how much control time he had, because maybe that will be some kind of deciding factor. Let's see. So in the first round, Rodriguez had 4 minutes of control time. That doesn't make it. That has to be backwards. Anyway, Rodriguez had 4 minutes of control time in the second. Osborne had a takedown in the first. He was battering him. He only scored 6 significant strikes, Osborne 18. And then look at the reversal. It's round 2, Osborne 6 strikes, Rodriguez 19. Like, the numbers are almost identical in both directions. And Rodriguez got the takedown. Okay, fair enough. There's a submission attempt from Osborne. He nearly got that triangle. Remember, he had him in that triangle for a long time after rocking his shit. I don't quite understand how it's not a 10-8. I don't see that. But okay. In the end, it was close. I wouldn't have minded if it was a draw. I guess I would lean like draw / Rodriguez, but whatever. Hell of a contest to open it up. Anything else on this card worth noting? Oh, yeah. Ketlin Souza defeating Yasmin Jauregui, who was supposed to be like a top prospect out of Mexico. She got her shit rocked. That was terrible. Josh Van and Edgar Chairez had a fun-ass fight. Josh Van taking this fight on like 60 days. Not even. What am I talking about? Like 11 days notice or some crazy shit. And still wins 29-28 across the board. He got those. He would slip, I think, slip to the outside and then dig with the body. And dude, he was tearing Chairez up. Ignacio Bahamondes catches Torres coming in. Yeah, he definitely was like racing in, and he crushed him. That was beautiful. Same kind of open side, right? Because southpaw versus orthodox, right? So catching him on that same side, that's exactly how Sean O'Malley beat Aljamain, right? Back up, let the guy extend, pop him. You saw that. That was tremendous. And then Raul Rosas Jr. defeating Auri Chai. I can't remember how they pronounce this guy's name. Chailong, the gentleman from China. Good patience from Rosas Jr., some good grappling as well, but like, he needs a lot of work. All right. If you have anything for the super chat, let's get to them now, right? I appreciate you guys sticking this out. As a reminder, all live programming on this channel brought to you by our friends at Toiletries. Use the code LT15 for 15% off anything at Toiletries. Your beard wash, your scrubbers, your trimmers, anything. Toiletries.com, 15% off site-wide, everything, LT15. All right, let's see what we got here. What am I missing? Let's see. All right. I think this is the last one that I saw. Long Island drinking CBD tears tonight? What are CBD tears? Is that like some kind of Sean O'Malley thing? O'Malley on the brink of getting Khabib'd. Yep, not on the brink. It fucking happened. Michael Jardine, Sarah Longo, low-key a dynastic gym, a.k.a. style. Yes, they are. As I mentioned before, Matt Serra, champion. Chris Weidman, champion. Aljamain Sterling, champion. Merab, champion. Dude, If you can produce 2 champions at your gym, that's remarkable. They've got 4. 4. And all those Bubbas, I know Merab is from Georgia, but like as a transplant, they all just live on Long Island. Isn't that fucking wild? That's crazy. That's crazy what they're able to do. They absolutely are dynastic. No, there's just no debating it. Jackson says, embarrassing display from Herb Dean. Also tired of Rogan on commentary. Fights were mixed, but thought the Sphere impressed overall, looked good on TV. Yeah, fights were up and down. Fights were up and down. No doubt about it. Herb, I don't mind. I didn't think this was one of Herb's terrible performances or something. Most boring back-to-back title fights in history. I'd have to think about that. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Like, oh my God, but I didn't hate it. Tile says, I'm too cheap for pay-per-view, but this was worth something to me. Thanks for doing it. Yeah, thanks for joining us, you guys. I appreciate it. Two Changs. The Oscars music started playing Merab off. Well, he was filibustering, was he not? Aqua Butter says, hey, Luke, you finally ready to admit that Merab pulling out his own stitches was not that serious? No, that's fucking stupid. Also, 1 to 10 rating for just because you get away with doing dumb shit does not make it smart. Right? And also, he wasn't like he was plucking it out with like very precision instrumentation. He was cutting that shit with like the kind of kitchen shears you use to like slice chicken bone. No, it was fucking stupid. Also, 1 to 10 rating for the fights. Overall, as a card, 7, something like that. Because some were really good, some were not. For the show presentation, 9. And for the card as a whole, 7. Same kind of rating. Jeffrey says, Merab sure is a chatty Cathy. Speaking of Japanese. Is Sandhagen versus Sean the next fight to make? I would fucking love to see that fight. I would love to see it. It's a tough fight for either guy, but I would love it. That's a great call. Jason just became a YouTube member. Thank you, my friend. Mitch, Merab calling a timeout as a DQ. Sean wins. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately. Paul says, the fight was announced. Everyone, media fighters, etc., was saying Merab. Last week, everyone changed to Sean. I didn't understand it. I still don't. Why? It wasn't hard to think that there wasn't a case for Merab or something like that. The odds were really close. The issue was you were fighting a guy that had a sniper-like ability to find you, or at least we thought. Did anyone think, seriously, that Henry Cejudo would do better striking against Merab than Sean O'Malley? He added wrinkles that we just didn't see before. So it's not like picking Merab was like some only the fighters were picking it. Like, dude, the odds are really close. Lots of people were picking Merab. But if you're asking like why there was hesitation, he had been rocked against much lesser strikers previously, and now he's going to be against like not just a good striker, but a pinpoint one. At least on paper, that matchup, I can understand why on paper people had confidence in Sean. I had confidence that Sean would. I mean, I thought it would be close, but like I didn't think that was crazy. I still don't think that's on paper crazy. It's just you just learn new shit when guys have elapsed time between fights, and here we go. We learned something new. Brandon, they pushed their production and experimented, talking about UFC. They absolutely did, and I think it largely worked. Kay says, do you think Bezos being there has anything to do with the UFC potentially being on Amazon Prime? There's no doubt in my mind. Jeffrey says, the excessive coaching and O'Malley cheating with the glove pull for the armbar. He did do that. Dirty team over there. Hard to blame them. Case in point, Zellhuber fingers warning 7 times and no points taken. Guys, if they don't take points from you, why the fuck would you not cheat? So that's a serious question. Just cheat. They're not going to do shit. Sparcific says, I thought this fight mirrored Edwards versus Muhammad. Yeah, because the other person had a stronger 5th round. Yeah, it's pretty close. Yep. B. Cook says, I scored round 1, 10-8 for Odie, thus had the fight a draw. Fine. Yep. Not one judge had that a flash KO and beat down score 10-8. Yeah, I don't get it either. I agree with you. I don't quite understand what they were looking at. Barone says, so much for the Mexican fighting spirit. Most Mexican fighters got crushed and fought quite poorly. Mediocre event as far as actual fighting goes. Glad to see all that spiritual and heritage BS take L after L. Well, you seem fun. Peter, thanks for joining us. XV Sting, I can't wait for Kendrick. That's awesome. Is Shevchenko the closest we have to GSP today? Usman in his prime was closer. If you're asking today? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Islam is kind of close. But yeah. Good morning from Belgium. Who had the worst haircut? It's got to be Diego Lopes. Emo burst fade mullet. I mean, who's looking for that? Good production, terrible pacing. 2 a.m. Yes, they took forever. It did take forever, yes. Two Chags. Boxing has so much more pageantry and history in MMA. Can a boxing promoter get Turkey to front the bill for a boxing sphere card? Yeah, but you can't let the Saudis do like the actual production because they just throw money at it and it's just ostentatious. It's like I don't want something ostentatious. I want something that's expensive but thoughtful. Scott, welcome to the party. Brandon says, TKO stockholders rejoice. I don't own any stock, unfortunately. Kevin says, I just wish they had put all that work into something that was UFC themed rather than something that was randomly Mexican, Aztec, whatever. All right. I don't quite understand what the problem is with doing it on Mexican Independence Day, but fine. Justin says, as someone who buys every pay-per-view, I will be illegally streaming Jones Miocic for that pathetic fight. Good Lord, John and Dana have no shame. I suspect you will not be alone, sir. I suspect you will not be alone. Dustin, the Sphere was definitely the star of the show. Agreed. You can bag on this. Certain fights are better than others, but the Sphere was the best thing about that night. Like, that's the reality. Mike D says, first two fights on pay-per-view were fight of the night worthy. Great show. I think the show overall, I would call it good, but yes. Edward says, at least now we might get O'Malley versus Sandhagen. Yes. Totally agree, like the other guy. What a great fight that's going to be, too. Alan, aren't you overhyping the importance of pageantry? The cost-benefit ratio for both the UFC and consumer for this event is staggering. At the end of the day, the fights are most important. Pageantry doesn't fill my fervor for MMA. Again, it's been beaten out of you to the point where you don't even know it's missing anymore. They don't all have to be the fucking Sphere, guys. That's not the point. The point is that you don't have to spend $20 million to get like my attention. The point is that you have to build in a sense of artistic implementation. That's the point. This particular one was like radically expensive. Yeah, of course you don't need that every fucking time. That's crazy. And again, the pacing was slow. But like, do I just need bare bones fights? Sometimes, but like sometimes no. Like a little bit of atmosphere makes it better. Mexicanoa. I died watching all the Mexican fighters lose. Yeah, tough night. Tough night at the office. JG says, Luke, apologies, but you have BBL bias. This did not deliver. The movie writing was piss poor, full of inaccuracies and superlatives. The SNE, the Super Nintendo Tomb Raider video game graphics range from terrible to good. Yes, some of that was a little weird, especially the last one. But I don't understand what the BBL thing is. Also, I think most people would agree with me, not you. Jules, what are the best food spots in DC? I'm Colombian. I got a trip planned. Just go to Eater DC and like look up best spots. They'll have good ones for you. Also, you should go to La Cosecha. Go to La Cosecha. Scott says, haters going to hate. It was a great event. See what I mean? Most people are going to agree. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. Brandon, the UFC was Dana White's gift to mankind. Haters going to hate. Okay. I mean, can we stop with this shit? It was Dana White's, what is he, fucking Prometheus giving us fire? Calm the fuck down. Afifi says, I'm always baffled by fighters' inability to blitz in the last round. Everybody knows that they're losing. Sure, they risk getting KO'd, but is that much worse than dragging to a losing decision? Well, getting viciously KO'd can be, yes, but I generally agree with your sentiment. Fuck you says, Merab is the most athletic fighter in MMA history. He's the most cardio-rich fighter. I don't know if he's the most athletic. There's a difference. Like, he's not as athletic as Yoel Romero, right? Scramble says, notice Lopez grabbing his throat throughout the fight. Yes, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if that was a tick. I don't know if there was something wrong with him. I don't know. I did notice that. The commentary team brought it up, but I don't know what to make of that. Gray matter. Thoughts on Herb telling them to work in the fifth? I don't have a problem with it. If they're just going to circle at times, I don't have a problem with it. People seem to hate it. I don't hate it. Ben Jammin, thank you for the donation. Like a boss says, Merab's game plan was perfect. Avoid conflict, time a takedown, maintain top position, and score. As a spectator, it's frustrating, but you got to respect it. And in general, a high work rate. Zach, do you think Herb was bad tonight or no? People seem to be mad at Herb Dean. I'm not saying he was like awesome or something, but of all the Herb Dean performances to be mad at, this would not be top of my list. Benjamin says, Sean immediately dejected, output shockingly low. Yes, I mean, that is absolutely correct. Jupiter says, I'm sorry, but if you think Merab was inactive, you need to find a different sport to watch. Agreed. High activity. I mean, there are times in the rounds where he was just circling, but yes, the overall effort is highly commendable. Adam says, I'm a Sugar Sean fan. So disappointing tonight. If there was ever a rematch, do you think Sean would focus more on the body? He was going to the body. He was going to the body. I mean, he was punching to the body. Does he kick more to the body? The question is, does Umar? That's what I want to see. Umar's got a good kicking game. Does Umar go to the body? Let's see. James, thanks, Luke. The Grasso-Valentina fight was shocking. What did she do different to tame Grasso? Nothing, dude. She did all the things that were right in the second fight and then just did it more. That's it. There's nothing new. Or hardly anything new anyway. Two Changs. Taktarov versus Macias was a fixed throne UFC fight. Do you think Fry versus Hall 2 was also? I don't know. I doubt it. Think FBI ends up charging Krause? I feel like they would have by now. But sometimes these white-collar crimes take time to investigate. Corbin says, take a drink every time Diego Lopes touches his neck. Also, who do you see him fighting next? That one's a little bit unclear. It could be Volk. It could be. Maybe he'll wait for a title shot. Maybe he'll take some other contender on still. You know, like Josh Emmett or something. I don't know. It's going to be hard to see. Maybe he fights Yair. Trey says, it seemed Grasso and O'Malley were frustrated and broken going into championship rounds. Do you think they were complacent with losing the fight? No. They were not complacent. They were outmatched, and they didn't know what to do about it. Fred says, no big booty Latinas on the Sphere screen. Yeah, well, unfortunately for us. Jason says, I was blown away by how well the event translated to TV. What elements of the broadcast do you think they could do? They can add to future events that are not at the Sphere, if any? I don't know. The Sphere is so unique. I don't really know if you should like try and spherify other places. You don't have to do that. Like, for example, when Conor fought Chad Mendes, they had Sinead O'Connor and the Donk from Stained sing their walkouts. That's not trying to spherify anything, but it's trying to add another atmosphere to it. Just do that. That's what I'm talking about. Just adding a little atmosphere, right? Mike says, are you as surprised as I was that Dana allowed an event with such strong anti-colonial messaging? A little. It was a little woke. A little woke. Jason says, oh, yeah. Talk about that pizza slice of a cut on Aldana's face. Dude, I can show it to you. Hold on. I can pull it up. Give me a second. Let me get this thing for you. Look at this shit, dude. Look at this. Here, I'll put it on the screen. Look at this. It's loading. Bah! God damn! Yo, that is a terrible cut. That is a terrible cut. Golly, man. That's going to alter your fucking face. Let's go back to this. Again, thoughts on Herb Dean's poor efficient. Maybe I'm missing something. Like I said, I'm not saying he did a super commendable job in the main event. That's not what I'm saying. I just didn't see it as like especially egregious. Like, what's he doing? He's clapping. Okay. And I mean, if you want to be mad at him, like for what, not taking a point or something, I'd be okay with that. But takedowns are overscored. Habib done damage. All these current guys just ride the clock down. It's getting boring. They're trying to correct for that in the way that judging works. But even with that, I still think like he did more damage than Sean, you know? Joe says, I thought the show was ass. Overhyped. All right. Can't please everybody. Rossi says, Luke, what's Sean O'Malley's future? Like I said, dude, as long as Merab and fucking Umar are there, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, like, it's very, very, very difficult to stay on top in the world's most elite division. It's very difficult. Uncertain at best. That's what I would say. Computer guy. It seems like Merab definitely learned from Aljo rushing in and getting finished. They seem to have no doubt that they could beat Sean. Also has a different approach, reaching for that single leg, you know. Jake, thanks for the donation. Eric, Diego's tick came from an accident he had when he was younger. Apparently, it's a scar that itches him, and he has developed that tick during fighting. I did not know that. I had not seen that prior. At least I had not noticed it prior. That's interesting. Paul, Dana said O'Malley lives for moments like tonight, but just came out flat. Was he flat or just smothered by Merab? Merab made him flat. Merab made him flat. O'Malley and Grasso skip media too. That's unfortunate. Fuck you. The Sphere card made me realize Mortal Kombat boss fight stages are the next big step for MMA. Yeah, agreed. Carnage was a visual spectacle. Hope they do more in the future. This was fun. Also, thoughts on how I fight with Umar versus Merab. I think Umar's going to be the toughest matchup for anyone in that division because he can match you with the wrestling and he's got the striking and he can scramble. Like, that's tough. And then last but not least, have you ever heard of the excessive coaching rule? Yes. Absolutely. For example, if they do a timeout and they send you to your corner's not allowed to coach you there. They have to be silent. That's well known. All right, boys and girls, I've been broadcasting for 3 fucking hours. It is 3:20 in the morning, and I still have a lot of work to do. So let's do one more reminder. Let's do one more reminder here before we get out, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate the audience tonight. I needed to be here and do this with you guys. I really love doing this. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for sticking with me. You're the best. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Secondly, of course, Toiletries. Hey, guys, they're helping me pay my bills. So if you're thinking about anything related to men's grooming, they got you covered, and you can get 15% off using my code LT15 at toiletries.com. Breakdown's coming. I'm going to have a breakdown on the Canelo fight. I'm going to have a breakdown on something from this card as well, whatever you might need, okay? I love you guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all the new members. Thanks to everyone who donated in the super chat. Thanks to everyone who watched tonight's broadcast. It was fun. It was great. I got to go do more work, and I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you next time. MK on Monday. More uploads tomorrow. Until next time, get some sleep.